It's your boy Sansa for the Conscious Mind checking in. You already know what it is when I come across your For You page or your live stock. Give me 3 minutes of your time, or you're also welcome to join the live. You feel me? As long as you ain't no troll, because trolls aren't welcome. So welcome to the live. Open discussion, dope discussion. Anything that you want to talk about and everything you want to talk about. We are expanding our minds tonight, and I got some dope stuff for you. This live, it's pretty much gonna be history. We gonna try and dabble into some other spiritual stuff, but I wanted to make a whole live about history because we haven't touched on American Indian history in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Because of course you gotta focus on the spirituality aspect. We talking about our ancestors and the history, but what is the ancestors in the history without the spirituality of the aspect that our ancestors used to do? And I don't really want to say used to no more because we getting back to them days and them roots and everything. So with that being said, we're going to touch on a lot of American Indian history. Starting with the book behind me, 103 Amazing Facts about the Melanated Indian of the Western Hemisphere outline. On previous lives, we already did a few of these, but we're going to finish everything out. We're going to go from 42 and we're going to end this book on 103. We're going to go ahead and finish this out. So if y'all want to go ahead and get the cover to this book so you can do your own research and your own reading, you can screenshot it. You feel me? I'm going to slide to the side. Y'all can screenshot it. And I'm going to check up on these comments. And shout out to everybody who's here. Everybody that is here, go ahead and slap that screen. Get them likes up because y'all know how they be doing your boy with the algorithm and everything. But we're going to get on it. Let me silence all phones. We in class. See what we talking about. Let's see who all in here. Star C, what's happening? Peace, family. Brown Sugar, peace. How you doing? I'm doing fine. Hope you doing good. A little bit of history. What's happening? Divinely Guided. Glad you could join class, Queen. Tigress, how you doing? Let's hear it, homie. I already gotta let some people get in here real quick. Gas Monkey, I got you. What's up, Pretty Eyes? How you doing? Shalom. All right, we got enough people in here. Let's go ahead and kick this thing off. 103 amazing facts of the melanated Indian of the Western Hemisphere. The continuation, we're going to go ahead and finish it up. We're going to start with 42, I think, and we're going to finish it all the way out to 103. And then we're going to make the transition so I can go ahead and show y'all how our ancestors not only taught Christopher Columbus and all the other settlers and Anglo-Saxons and everybody else who came over here, taught them how to farm and everything, but we also got them high. Oh yeah, y'all ain't know our ancestors rolled up that good ganja and let them boys hit that thing. You heard me? Oh yeah, it's historical facts, and I got the book with it. We're gonna touch on it, but just go ahead and get started. You feel me? Hold on, let me go ahead and share this real quick to my other platforms. All right, let's get into it. Okay. All right, my bad. We hold on. Let's see. Let me make sure. Okay, we starting with 38. My fault, y'all. We starting with 38. You heard me? How you doing, Shell? Glad you could tap in. I love you, brother. I love y'all too. Thanks for all the support. Here we go. Number 38. Picking up from the last live. The founding fathers did not find anything. They went to melanated Indians, the Iroquois nation. Shout out to all my people that's in Louisville, Kentucky right now. You know what I'm saying? Iroquois. A lot of y'all are the Iroquois walking around, but y'all calling yourselves African American and black and stuff like that. But we gonna go ahead and get to it though. Y'all better wake up. So the Iroquois nation, and shout out to my people that's out there in Ohio. A lot of y'all probably got Iroquois blood too. You feel me? So seeking assistance to break away from their chief back in England. The founding fathers, y'all know who they are. You know, you got your George Washington, you got your Benjamin Franklin, you got your Thomas Jefferson, y'all know Mount Rushmore. You feel me? The founding fathers did not find anything. They went to melanated Indians, the Iroquois nation. Iroquois nation, seeking assistance to break away from their chief back in England. Their chief. Not king, but chief in England. You got to pay attention to the word terminologies that these people be using. You feel me? So, King George III, the Iroquois nation taught them their system of government. Oh yes, the same system that we're using right now in the government, our ancestors gave it to them. But just like anything that our ancestors gave to them, they flip it and use it on us. You feel me? So, yeah. So, the system of government. The only part that the so-called founding fathers left out was the matriarch. The black or melanated Indian women ruled the Iroquois nation. Shout out to all my melanated sisters out there. I don't know why they keep trying to write y'all out in history, but well, we already know why they keep trying to write y'all out in history, because you know what I'm saying. Like I always told people, you don't oppress weak people, and you don't write out weak people of history. So if you're written out of history, it's because you come from a strong bloodline. You feel me? And if you are oppressed in a system that you created and you taught these people, it's because they know that you know how to work the system and you more powerful than anything like that. You feel me? So peep game. Shout out to all my sisters out there. Y'all was the rulers of most of these American Indian tribes. Cacique, the chiefs. You did? So now, let's continue. Most melanated Indians of the Western Hemisphere found themselves seduced by European lifestyle, customs, and traditions, taking on the ways of the heathen. Y'all give me 1 second. I know I forgot one thing. y'all, hold on 1 second. Hold on, y'all. I forgot to tell y'all, man. Look, if you got them, roll them. If you got it, pull it. I don't know how I forgot to tell y'all that. I know better. I'm slipping. I'm slipping real quick. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know we do this together, right? Oh, I'm dropping shit. Oh, I'm dropping shit. Hold on. Be right back, y'all. Hold on. All right, y'all. All right, here we go. Got the coffee. You feel me? Got the coffee going. All right. So now, all right. So where were we? Where were we? Hold on. All right. So where were we? I'm glad y'all still here. Hold on. I'll catch up in the comments real quick. Let me see what y'all talking about. Shalom, Power Gen. Glad you could tap in. What's happening, Rita Jenkins? Glad you could tap in. Pass, puff, pass, brother. Oh yeah, we about to get started. You feel me? So here we go. Here we go. Who cares? Just look at now and say, do better. We go, okay. I'm going to look and say and do better and block you off of this live. How's that one? And since you want to agree with old dude, I can go ahead and block you off this live too. You feel me? Let me go ahead and get all these trolls up out here. You feel me? Say you can't change the past, but you can learn from it. We already learning from it. Name of the book is 103 Amazing Facts of the Melanated or Black Indians of the Western Hemisphere. Block gang strong, you feel me? All right, here we go. So now, most melanated Indians of the Western Hemisphere found themselves seduced by European lifestyle, customs, and traditions, meaning we've taken on the ways of the heathen. Now, y'all know I like to do this, right? Just because it say European, that don't mean Anglo-Saxon. Oh no. Oh no, my brothers, my sisters. That don't necessarily mean Anglo-Saxon when they say European. See, you gotta dodge the hijack when they do this. See, they like to throw, excuse me, they like to throw the terminology of like Europeans and Africans and all that shit. But they do that to hide the real fact and the real identities of people. So they like to hide behind their country names and stuff like that. But like you said, hey, before the Anglo-Saxons, who were the Europeans? So when the Europeans came, so now when you think about the ways of the heathen, when the Most High said that they taking on the ways of the heathen, Anglo-Saxons didn't exist yet. You feel me? And Esau and Edom were melanated, and Tribe of Japhet were melanated. And I wish that, and look, man, if y'all don't take nothing from this live today, take this. When y'all scrolling on live and y'all run across these Israelites on here that just filled with hate for the pale people, for the fair skinned people, they just filled with hate that they don't care about historical facts. And historical facts say that Esau and Edom were melanated before the genes mutated. Historical facts say the tribe of Japhet were melanated before the genes mutated. So now, with that being said, when you read stuff like they were seduced by the European in lifestyle and customs and traditions, you got to start thinking, what Europeans? What Europeans went through history doing this stuff? You know what I'm saying? They like to call themselves Moranos, conquistadors. You heard me? Not all skin folk is your kinfolk. You did? Those the Europeans that they talking about. You know what I'm saying? And then later on, the Anglo-Saxons came into play and stuff like that. And then they just start taking on more ways of the heathen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So our ancestors got enticed. They got enticed and tempted by those customs. And y'all know those customs, them same pagan traditions that people is holding on today that they be willing to kill you for. These people will kill you behind these pagan customs that they done took on and stuff like that, man. The customs don't belong to you. Customs don't belong to you. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And then they took our Thanksgiving customs and they rearranged it to fit their narrative, talking about we ain't had no Thanksgiving until the Pilgrims came. Well, for one, the Pilgrims that did come were melanated as well. They were Moors and Sephardic Jews who got exiled from Spain, so they were the first Pilgrims. So, and our other ancestors who were the American Indians, because y'all know we hybrids and mixed breeds, we best of both worlds, you feel me? So our other ancestors taught them how to grow and farm, and they welcomed them with the Thanksgiving feast that we always held. Now, when the Anglo-Saxons came, then that was a whole different story. You know, that was a whole different story. Then Thanksgiving became a massacre. You know what I'm saying? It became a massacre. The Anglos came, they started massacring all the American Indians, and they called it to the Sephardic Jews and Moors that they've been chasing all the way across the water and shit. So, damn, we got all y'all here on this land now? Oh, man, we about to 2-for-1 y'all. You feel me? That's how they was thinking. You know what I'm saying? That's how they was thinking. All right, y'all, hold on. It's time to flame on. Time to flame on. What book is that? The book is 103 Amazing Facts of the Black Indians of the Western Hemisphere, written by Cannon. He's a non-reservationist Indian. It means he don't live on the reservations. So this is written by a thoroughbred American Indian. So can't nobody say, oh, this is a white man's book. Nah, this is an American Indian book. So now with that being said, now here we go. When the American Revolutionary War broke out, melanated Indians found themselves fighting against their own kinsmen. When the American Revolutionary War broke out, melanated Indians found themselves fighting against their own kinsmen. Some melanated Indian nations sided with the British, while other melanated Indians sided with the colonial rebels, aka Americans. AKA Americans. So now, dodge the hijack. When y'all see these people with the Confederate flag going on, that Confederate flag was not theirs. They were not the rebels. They were not the rebels. Listen to me now. Listen to me. We already know. Look, man, we've been doing this live since last year all the way up to now. What have we learned? That these people, Anglo-Saxons, they want to write themselves in history to the point where they want to be the victim and the victor. That's how they write themselves in history. They want to be the victim and the victor. When, hell no. The Confederate flag was initially the American Indian rebel flag because we were rebels and we were rebellious and we didn't like the American flag that was going on and shit like that. And we still don't like that motherfucker till this day. So we had the Confederate flag, which was for the rebels. And who was part of the Confederacy. If y'all want to hop off live, you can go ahead and look it up. But you had the Iroquois, who was part of the Confederacy. You had the Cherokees. You had the Seminoles. And you had pretty much all Southern American Indians who was part of this Confederacy of rebels. You know what I'm saying? Georgia, my home, Georgia. Before they changed our state flag was a rebel flag. You know what I'm saying? And it's no coincidence that Georgia had some of the most American Indians down there. You know what I'm saying? It's no coincidence why some of them wear this Confederate flag. And growing up, when I used to see melanated people rock the Confederate flag, I used to be like, man, what the fuck wrong with them, man? They sell out so until you start picking up a book and you start educating your mind and you start learning that the swastika is ours. You start learning that the Confederate flag is ours. Then you start learning that the Revolutionary War and all these wars about trying to end slavery and all that shit is not what you think it is. The South had the most free people of color, which is another lie that they tell our kids in school that, oh, our ancestors ran up north for freedom. No, our ancestors who ran up north were Huguenots, and they was running up north to Canada. Back home is where they was running. So those that was running up north was trying to go back home because they was Huguenots. Remember, the Huguenots landed in Canada mixed with the American Indians and shit like that. You feel me? And they was still getting captured, still getting sent down to the south and everything like that. But when they got sent down to the south, who you think they met? They met more Moors. They met more Moors, more Sephardic Jews, more, they ran into a couple of Anglo-Saxons around this time and everything, but they would escape to go back home, which was up north. And then the ones up north would escape and come back down south back home. And that's what they did. They took Southern Indians, sent them up north. They took Northern Indians, sent them down south. They took Eastern Indians, sent them out west. They took the Western Indians, sent them over here. And they just discombobulated and confused everybody on up because you switching these people from their homeland and everything. So, you have to do that. That's part of brainwashing people. You got to take them from their land. You got to take them from their culture. You got to take them from the tradition. You got to brainwash the kids. You got to send them to boarding school. You got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to do all that type of stuff. And that's what they did. So that whole story about, all our ancestors was going up north and that's completely false because our ancestors was traveling all four corners because they was trying to get home, bruh. They was trying to get home. That's all it was. And another icing on the cake is that the North had more slaves than the South. And even when they was trying to do that Emancipation Proclamation and all that type of stuff, the North didn't free their slaves until years after the Emancipation Proclamation. You feel me? And that's also facts. So now when you start digging into the Civil War and you start digging into all these people like Ulysses S. Grant and all these folks that they told you was bad and evil and they wanted, bro. Ulysses S. Grant was one of the first people of that era to free their slaves. You know what I'm saying? So if this man was so much of a racist and everything, why did he free his slaves faster than anybody up north did? Put a pin in that. Y'all think about that shit. I told y'all, everything is written backwards. Everything is told backwards. The villain ain't really the villain, and the hero ain't really the hero in this damn reality show we call Earth. So now let's get back to it. So now again, one more time, repetition is the father of learning. When the American Revolutionary War broke out, melanated Indians found themselves fighting against their own kinsmen. Not all skin folk is your kinfolk. Some melanated Indian nations sided with the British. Not all skin folk is your kinfolk. While the other melanated nations sided with the colonial rebels, aka the Americans, colonial rebels, aka Americans, copper-colored tribes, Sephardic Jews, and the Moors, Paleo-Hebrew, Arabic. Yeah, you feel me? That's the right side. So now 41. After melanated Indian nations helped to set up the colonial government, America, and in addition to help to sponsor military support for the new colonial government, melanated Indian nations continue to fight and war amongst themselves as they did before and after Europeans set foot upon the Western Hemisphere shores. Before and after. See, this is why I keep saying that all skin folk is your kinfolk, and trying to unite 100% of melanated people is not realistic. Niggas been fighting since the dawn of time, and niggas is gonna be fighting till the end of time. That's just what it is. Hell, you fight with your brothers and sisters and cousins in your immediate family. So that's expected. You know, the thing that makes it bad of us fighting amongst each other is that back in them days when we was fighting each other, niggas wasn't killing each other. We were just whooping each other's asses. After the scrap, we go our separate ways. You know what I'm saying? Like it took levels to escalate to us fighting each other back in the day. Even before the Europeans, it took levels before us to do that. Before, we would play ball games. See, this is how we handled disputes back in the day. In ancient times, we would do ball games. We would do competitions. We would do foot race. We would do something dealing with spiritual seeking and spiritual tribes and challenging one another and all that type of stuff. And then if it get to a point where none of that stuff work, then you know what I'm saying, we got to fist to cut these things out to get the point across. You feel me? And then after that, win, lose, or draw, then that's what it is. You feel me? But so much is killing each other. That shit didn't come until the Anglo-Saxons came and started putting one against the other, like they still do today. COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO been around since beginning of times as well. So counterintelligence program. So when you come out with a program called counterintelligence program, what intelligence are you countering? Could it be CRT? Let's get back to it. Let me catch up in the comments real quick. I've been seeing y'all going ham real quick. Let me catch up. Let me catch up real quick. Oh, CEO. What's happening, Quan? The turkey represents the Turkish Moors. Uh-huh. There we go. They are block twins now. Oh, how y'all family doing good? Hope you doing good too. What's happening, though? The Creek Indians, most definitely. Been working, yup. The ones who ran up north was promised land and jobs. That also, and they ain't get none of that. See, that makes so much sense. Yeah, seasoning camps, The North had child labor too. Ah, yeah, the North, bruh, and most of these books though, and most of these books I've been reading, the North was way worse than the South, and that's what people don't understand. For real, the North was worse than the South. Have you heard of the Red Stick Indians? Nah, I haven't heard of those before. Enlighten me on the Red Stick Indians. Duality, most definitely. Is this Christian? I don't know what that got to do with what we reading. All right, so here. So here we go. So now, number 42. Melanated Indians were not conquered by the Europeans. Let me say that again. Melanated Indians were not conquered by the Europeans or the so-called white man. Melanated Indians had a rich history of intertribal warfare amongst each other. Melanated Indians had a rich history of intertribal warfare amongst each other that continued before and after European arrival and still continues to this day. you know, the intertribal warfare that existed amongst the melanated Indians in the Western Hemisphere was so great that it left them in a state of impotency, with impotency setting in after years and years of clan warfare, in addition to the attraction of European trinkets and customs and traditions and the worshiping of the God named Jesus, all assisted in paving the way for European occupancy of melanated Indian lands, their spirits, and their minds. So, while they was look, check this out. they were so slick with it. While we were too busy fighting against each other, they still do this shit to this day. Talking about nothing new under the sun, they still do this shit to this day. Look, while we too busy fighting each other and shit like that, these folks were scheming like, look, okay, so they don't like each other. So like, when the Anglo-Saxons got here now, they played it cool. They played the cut and they watched everything before they jumped in. You know what I'm saying? Before you jump into a war, you got to see who's who. So they was like, okay, those folks don't like them folks. That tribe don't like that tribe. Okay. We can use that tribe to our benefit right there because this tribe have the land and everything. You know what I'm saying? So we can use this tribe. Let's go ahead and fuck with this tribe real quick. They get to their tribe, they start indoctrinating them. They start putting them on to their customs and traditions, and they start Hellenizing them. Y'all remember the past lives we were talking about Hellenizing and Hellenins and all of that? Yeah, so they start Hellenizing them, start indoctrinating, start colonizing these folks. Mental. So now, when you do that, and you can get these people to take on the ways of the heathen and start taking on your customs and traditions and everything like that, then You can start giving them trinkets. You can start giving them your customs, your traditions, and then you can start giving them your God. You feel me? So now, so after the colonial government was established, America, melanated Indian nations continued to aid the new colonial government with military assistance on other melanated Indian nations that fought against European expansion and the taking of their ancestral land. See, a lot of us was trying to protect this land. A lot of us sold out this land and they sold us out too. You know what I'm saying? So it's still going to this day. We still got sellouts to this day. Choctaw checking in, what's happening? Blackfoot in the gang, Tiano. Build industry and community up. 4 centuries they've been doing this in America, most definitely. Divide and conquer. Right, jealousy, watching from the cut on our beefs, creeping and peeping times. Yeah, that's why they so obsessed with melanated crimes versus anybody else. Like, they are fascinated with melanin on melanin violence more than anybody else. There's a billion Asian people who be doing crimes against each other, who crime rate is higher than ours, but they only worried about us. There's fair-skinned people who be doing crimes on each other, but they only seem to only worry about us. And I wonder why. Is it because gods are acting like heathens? See, when heathens act like heathens, that's expected. That's why don't nobody care about that shit. When heathens act like heathens, that's what's to be expected. But when gods and goddesses, kings and queens and priests and high priestess and druids and witches and warlocks and star seeds and chosen ones, when we start acting like heathens, it's a spotlight on us. It's a spotlight on us because they know it's sad too, but they know morally we're not supposed to be acting like that. They know that. They know who we are. They know they know our customs, they know our traditions, they know our moral compass, they know our structures, they know our hierarchies, they know our government because it's the same government that we in today that we gave them, and they just modified that thing times 10, put it on steroids, you feel me? Man, these folks know everything about us. So they know that morally, we ain't supposed to be doing none of this shit. Morally, we know we ain't supposed to be doing this shit because you feel it inside you. People just go against that judgment, that intuition and shit like that. But they know that. That's why when Asians be beefing with each other and eating all that crazy shit and doing all that, man, that shit to be expected. They know that they heathens. Fair skins, Arabs, all these folks, man, that shit's expected, man. But when it come to us, though, man, we supposed to be vibing higher than this shit. That's why the spotlight on us. You know what I'm saying? This is why you got the private prisons. This is why you can put the drugs inside the community, and we ain't got no problem selling drugs amongst each other and shit like that, because intertribal beef, it's still in your DNA. This is why certain tribes today, I'm gonna start back using tribes. I'm done with using gangs and shit like that. But certain tribes today, they ain't got no problem with selling poison to other tribes in the community. Because deep down inside, them people ain't with you. Them people don't fuck with you. Them people, whatever is in that person bloodline, ain't been fucking with your bloodline since the beginning of time. You feel me? So that's why it's easy for some of them to do it. And it's hard for us to do it because we are part of that bloodline who's trying to protect the land and protect the people. It's simple. Not all skin folk is your kinfolk. Pay attention to the DNA and the characteristics and the mannerisms and the moral and the behavior of people and stuff like that. That'll let you know who's part of your tribe, who's not part of your tribe. You feel me? Let's keep it rolling. Another rant in 30 minutes. And so, and today it's the same shit. Yup, most definitely. Let me catch up in the comments real quick. Let's see. Jamel Williams said the seller wants the easy way. He has no struggle in the soul. Most definitely. Leeches. Yup. It's embarrassing, really. It is embarrassing to a sense, but that's normal for heathens. Yup, yup. The question is, how did they come to be in possession of it? They came into possession of everything because of us. We too busy fighting amongst each other that they just start getting everything. While we too busy still beefing with one another, they behind us snatching shit, writing fake laws on papers, recruiting the enemies who hate us. You feel me? And that all skin folk, your kinfolk, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that's how they roll. You feel me? So whoever we was beefing with, that was their friend. So like I always tell everybody in most lives, it takes one of us to destroy one of us. They couldn't do it. They never could do it. When that gene mutation happened and they became new to this earth, and they ain't know shit about us. They knew a little bit about us by what Yakub taught him, or taught them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So they know a little bit, but they didn't know how to conquer us. Yakub didn't give that information on how to conquer us, though. They learned that shit on their own. And what they learned is that not just American Indian tribes was beefing with each other, but European melanated tribes were beefing with each other. Germanic tribes was beefing with each other. Shit, hell, African tribes was beefing with each other. And a lot of people hate when I say that, but it's for real. Shaka Zulu, everybody like Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu hated. He hated other people. You know what I'm saying? He conquered and enslaved over other Africans. And I don't know why that shit is erased out of history, but it's facts. Now all skin folk is your kinfolk. This man got killed by his own people because he was leading the tribe astray. That's why he got killed. But everybody want to shout out Shaka Zulu, bro. I don't celebrate that, man. I don't celebrate shit that man did. I don't care about the empire that he built. Building the empire. Man, y'all a lot of people is so fixated on trinkets and gold and material. I don't care about that empire he built. He built that empire on the blood of his own people. That shit is not cool. That shit is not cool, bro. He built that empire on the blood of his own people, bro. That shit is not cool. And it took his own people, his half brother, to knock him off because he was leading the tribe astray. He was out of control with the power. He was over here taking people's land. He was taking other Africans' lands. He was enslaving them. He was killing them. He was colonizing them. When the Anglo-Saxons came, he was killing them too. Dude was a gorilla. You heard me? Dude was a gorilla. You did? He ain't care about nothing. I don't respect that though. If you gotta kill your own people to build your empire, you ain't as royal as you think you is. You feel me? You know. What's happening, O? What's happening, these troops? Glad y'all could tap in. They always use us to destroy our own, most definitely. So that's how they got possession of it. You know, that's how they got possession of the land and stuff. Like America, the Turtle Island, Plum Serpent, and the West Indies, aka formerly known as Atlantis. All the tribes on these lands are entitled to this land. You feel me? So even if we're beefing with another tribe amongst each other, this tribe can side with these people and give them rights to this land as well. They can also intermarry. They can also breed and have offsprings. They can also do all of this stuff to tie these folks to this land. And that's what they did. While the other tribes, such as ourselves, was like, y'all crazy as fuck. And we're going to have to go to war about this shit. You know? And that's what it was. You know? And that's how they got possession of it, man. It always took one of us to enslave one of us. The Anglo-Saxons ain't gorillas like that. Y'all be giving them too many. People, not y'all, but people give Anglo-Saxons too much credit. These folks ain't gorillas like that, bro. These folks ain't gorillas like that. They ain't steppers for real. They always send one of us to go handle one of us. They don't do that shit themselves. The last time they really did that shit themselves is when they was lynching people. And even then they had a hard ass time. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, what's happening? What's happening? Shaka was tricked. I don't believe that. Y'all, hey, look, man. Hey, check this out. Those who's new to this live, hey, check this out, man. This is a whole different live. We deal with true facts, brutally honestness, and straight like that. You feel me? I'm not about to sit here and defend another person's genocide and atrocities just off of the strength that this nigga's skin is the same color as mine. No, I would not sit here and defend another person's genocide and atrocities on his own people just because Charles Darwin say we Africans. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit here and celebrate or make excuses for the genocide and you know what I'm saying, and the killing of these people just because of his name is in some damn history book, man. You don't make it to these Anglo-Saxons history book and glorified. You don't do that unless you was a sellout, bro. You don't. You don't do that, bro. You don't. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Who told you about Shaka Zulu? For one, from the time you hopped out your mama womb, when was the first time you heard about Shaka Zulu? Hmm. Question number one. Question number two. Out of all the African empires and kings and queens and everything, why is he more celebrated than Mansa Musa, who ain't never killed nobody to build his empire, and he was one of the richest men on the world, and he ain't have to kill nobody and step on nobody's toes to build his empire. He had that energy, he had that vibe. You know what I'm saying? And I bet if Shaka Zulu ran across Mansa Musa ass, you feel me? Here, some real Moors, you did? Hey man, nah, bro. We ain't gonna do that on this channel. I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Not all ancestors are my ancestors. A lot of these quote unquote ancestors are your enemies. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them don't like you because they know your bloodline, your spirit, and your energy. So a lot of these ghosts that's hunting you and shit, it ain't always Anglo-Saxon people that's hunting you as a ghost, nigga. It be some of these melanated people who hate your bloodline, bro. You feel me? Like all that shit. Shaka Zulu gets no brownie points in my book. You want to bring something down, it would be from the inside. I'm trying to tell you. He broke universal law. He most definitely broke universal law. That's why his karma was death. And then for people saying that Shaka Zulu was tricked, you can't say Shaka Zulu was tricked because the Anglo-Saxons who came to Africa during this time, they wasn't even there when Shaka Zulu was on his rampage. They came after the fact. Like the Anglo-Saxons came after the fact that he did all that. They came at the tail end before he got killed. Anytime before that, Anglo-Saxons went in Africa, they were still handling business in Germany. They were still handling business on the British Isles. They were still in India with Hindustan. You know what I'm saying? They were still over there. They were still in Greece and Rome. They were still in Ireland handling that. They were still doing that shit. So by the time they made it to Africa, Shaka Zulu was already on his way out. They already got the plan together and everything to take him out. That dude was wild. Right? They both definitely put the spotlight on the skill folk. That's not kill folk. Let me catch up real quick. Australia messing up, messing up other people's economy just by a tip. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Yep, Hamites. That was a nice way of saying check your feelings and indoctrination at the door. You heard me, Power G. He said, let me join in, bro, please. Oh, yeah, go ahead, send me a request. You know how I get on my rants. I don't be seeing stuff real quick. That's what I'm about. So we don't need to repeat history, most definitely.
Your joint
Go
always don't
ahead.
let the video, bro. But peace, God.
I said it.
Hey, I'm not defending Shaka Zulu. I'm just saying that the Caucasoids got to him. That's how shit got flipped. They flipped everything, bro. The same people who took over the Congo. That's the same people who got the Shaka Zulu. Like, I'm not going off of what the white man taught. I'm going off what my grandfather told me, and he straight told me that that cat was stupid because he got tricked. He got tricked. He not the only one that got tricked. They went over there teaching them people that they knew of lands that had gold paved streets and milk and honey that flowed in the river. They tricked everybody, bro. But I'm not defending people because, for one, back then we had the knowledge. I'm not gonna speak too much on it because most of the time TikTok get upset and get you up out of here. But back
Right,
then
right,
we
right.
had the knowledge, bro. And like everybody, I'm gonna put it this way: it was like we had cell phones back then. That's how I'm gonna explain it. It's like we had cell phones.
Mhm.
We were still able to communicate, talk, make plans, etc., etc. But some of these people fell for the stupidness of them supposedly having the gold paved roads and the milk and honey, and all they had was the books. And now we got
Yeah,
the books, and they got all the gold, silver, and milk and honey. We the ones struggling now because we allowed them to flip everything. Like I told you on one of the other lives. This is what I
hmm
mean by they flip everything literally. North is south, east is west. But
yeah.
everybody thinks that north is what it is, and that's not it. And technically, if you actually look into everything, there is no north and south. There's only an east and west.
Right, right.
There's no such thing as a
Yeah,
north and south. There's only
yeah,
east
because
and
the
west.
earth.
Nobody has ever flew north and came back around the world going north. Nobody has ever flew south and came back around the world going south. No, they've only done it going east and west.
Right.
And the way I'm gonna explain that is by using the Bible, hoping that they won't, get me again like they got our last live when they banned me and everything. I'm gonna use the Bible for an example, where God tells us that the earth is stationary, but the sun and
Yeah,
moon move. We are within a firmament, and he used the firmament to separate the waters from above from the waters below.
yeah. You
That's
on
what I mean
point.
by there's no north and south. You can't fly north and come back around the world. You can't fly south and come back around the world. But you can fly east across the whole ice wall. You can fly west going across the whole ice wall. But
Just
there's no such thing as north and
it's
south.
just like circling a plate.
Basically. Or
Yep.
flying around in the little snow globes we used to get as kids in the 90s.
Right.
But I did want to verify that. Nah, bro, don't celebrate most of them cats who got tricked. They got tricked for a reason. They were supposed
Yeah.
to, how can I say, fall for that. Because if you actually look into the teachings about what you was talking about with Yakub and them, they allowed
hmm
Yakub to do what he was doing so that this way, once we come back and conquer again, we could create the perfect what is it? Perfect utopia. So that
Right.
this way we can know what the bad side is, what the evil is, and how to keep it out of the community. So that this way we could bring everybody back to what they call the quantum consciousness and be on godhood again.
hmm Yeah,
We
you
got
on point.
and now I'm gonna just put it this way because it kind of irritates me that a lot of people play so deaf. But everything's right there in your face. When you go outside and you look up in the sky, if you look up at the right time, you can see the sun and moon at the same time. If this mug was
Oh
round,
yeah,
you would
man.
see the sun and
Hey,
moon at the
hey.
same time. The other thing, wait, what? What you say?
I was about to say I've been telling people that for the for the past 5 years, like some folks will be like, oh, that shit happens once in a while, and I'll be like, nah, bro, that shit happen every day. Like I wake up for work and like at 7 o'clock in the morning, you can literally see
The
the
sun on
sun
one
on
side,
one side coming up and the moon still there. And then at 10 o'clock, you can still see the same thing. About 12, about around noon is when it starts to fade away.
too
You
bright.
know, the
You can't
moon.
see that moon no
Y-
more. It's too bright. So like you might as well
Yeah.
say the atmosphere, the clouds somewhat hide the moon, but it's still there. Because if you look in
And
a
then,
certain spot, I'm saying you could block the sun somewhat, you could somewhat see the ring of the moon. You may not actually see the moon itself, but you can see where it's blocking light.
yeah. And then, Then at a certain time when the moon is coming back, you can actually see through the moon before it gets solid
Yep,
again.
yep. That's because the moon ain't solid. The moon is supposed to be made out of something that's in our blood. I think it's like plasma or something. But if you go back
Hmm.
and look at some of the interviews when Admiral Byrd was on his mission, there was a white scientist who straight tells you you'll never be able to land on the moon because it ain't solid.
Nope,
He
ain't
said
nothing
it's made out
solid.
of plasma or something like that.
Yep, because the
The
sun, because when you think about the sun is made of basically plasma too. It's shooting plasma and everything out, and it's the same thing that's inside you.
it's
That's why
made
they
out
call it
of
the sun, the soul.
yep, because it's made out of like plasma and carbon atoms and stuff like that. The
Hmm.
carbon atoms is what gives it its light. If you go sun gazing and you look at the sun long enough, you'll actually tell that the sun is black.
Ah, yeah, I've seen, and if you
Literally,
actually sun, and if you sun gaze long enough too, and you really tune in, you can actually see the sun rotate too. That shit goes in a circle motion.
I felt like it vibrated more than rotated, but
Well, yeah,
I feel
you
like
know,
we
rotate,
saying the
vibrate.
same thing with different words.
Yeah, that motherfucker moving. We gonna say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I feel like we're saying the
That bitch,
same thing with different words, basically.
yeah,
Like I'm not
yeah, that bitch.
because when I was looking at it, I was even on a little video chat with my people and everything, and I was like, bro, it looked like the sun vibrating, bro. One of them was like, nah. When I was doing it, it looked like it kind of somewhat rotated. How they try and say the like if you take a plate, put it on the table and spin it. He was like, that's
Mm-hmm.
how he felt like he was seeing it. But for me, it felt like the colors were expanding, but the blackness of the sun itself was just vibrating with the colors. But at the same time, like the same way I just used that explanation of the plate, that's kind of how I felt like I was seeing it. But you know how sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when you look at things, you don't see it how you're perceiving it. So I don't know. Like it could have been just rotating, and that's just how the blackness looked at the time. Because I ain't gonna lie, I ain't been sun gazing that long, so my view might have been distorted a little bit from all the lights and different colors and trying to take that in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that shit takes a while to actually get your eyes adjusted to actually see it for real. You know.
So I've been doing it for the last week, and like the best way I can explain it is I used to need glasses. I don't need glasses no more, bro. It's like my
No,
vision
hey,
is in 4K ultra.
hey, it's fun. It's funny you said that. Like, if my mama was right here, she'll tell you. When I was like 6, I had to wear glasses because I had a stigma in my eyes real bad. And it was like he probably gonna need glasses for the rest of his life. Man, my dad took me outside and told me to stare in the sun for a week. I shit you not. By the end of the week, I had 20/20 vision. I'm not even playing. And that made the little eye vision people, that made them amazed. They was like, we ain't never seen no shit like this happen. We don't even know how to explain it. It was just a miracle. And my dad was like, nah, that was that sun.
Yeah, I swear, because I ain't gonna lie, it's like from about 12 to about 16, I was supposed to be wearing glasses, but me being me and being around all the people I was around, I felt like I ain't wearing no damn glasses. I ain't trying to look goofy, this and this, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Man, around 18, 19, I had started doing the sun gazing thing because this Mason told me, look in the sun. Because he swore up and down that he knew my eyesight was getting worse because like I used to work with him and do little side stuff with him and he'd ask me things. I'm like, I don't see that. And he'd be like, bro, you need glasses or something? I was like, yeah, I honestly do. He finally started telling me, stare in the sun, stare in the sun. I had stared in the sun back then. It fixed my left eye because my left eye was the problem. I had 20 vision in one of them, and then the left eye, it was lower than the other one. So it made it where I couldn't see things up close, but far away, I could see you perfect. After I did that
Yeah.
joint, it fixed my left eye. As I got older, you fall out of things and everything. My blood pressure started messing up around like 24, 25. Doctors telling me I need glasses again. This time, I'm like, when I turned 29 recently, I started sun gazing again. And that joint fixed both my eyes. It was never telling me I had problems with them again. My blood pressure, when it goes up and get crazy for about a month or two, they'll tell me something may be wrong. But then once I look up and stare at the sun for a little bit, ain't nothing wrong no more. Like, bro, I think I was telling you this last time. I ain't even taking the
Yep.
medicine they got me on and stuff. I've been just doing everything herbally.
Yeah, I
Like
we
I
gotta
don't even
get
smoke
back to
tobacco
it.
no more. I smoke herbal tobacco. I make my own blend of things that's healthy. Like more or less, I'm curing myself from just smoking on these herbals. And
Yeah, we're gonna talk.
I
Yeah, we're
know
gonna talk
that.
about the herbs. We're gonna talk about the herbs in the next transition. Trust
All
me.
right, I hope I catch you. I stop with this and just say that when I got on them herbs and I slowed down on tobacco, I actually started spitting all that stuff up that tobacco had in my lungs, bro.
Yup.
All
That's
that.
exactly what.
Like, I
Yup.
breathe better and everything, bro. Like, man, when we get to talking on that, I got so much to add on that too, but I'm gonna leave that for that and go back to what I was gonna say before you had added in on the sun and the moon joint. The other thing was, yo, how we supposed to got thousands of satellites up in the sky, but we don't never see one of them go across the moon. I understand why we wouldn't see it in the daytime with the sun, but why ain't I never looked up and stared at the moon and seen one of these thousands of satellites we supposed to got up there?
Man, I'm over. They ain't that up there. It's all landlines.
On God, I believe that this thing that I was watching before, I can't remember the exact terminology of the words, but I'm gonna try my best to break everything down. And like you know
Mm,
how they you got satellites, but in all actuality, those satellites ain't satellites. They're like these. I'm gonna use the word like radio programmers on sticks. So like they was
mm.
able to make an electrical map or grid across the world by putting these sticks in the ground and connecting them together. There is no satellites. It's electromagnetic waves that they're sending through the sky from each uh we're just gonna say radio to radio.
Yup. Yup. That's exactly what.
A
Yup.
lot of people falling for that. Because NASA even tells us they've never been out of lower Earth orbit.
Ah, no. That man, that Van Allen belt. Them folks can't get past that. That shit's the
Yeah,
dome. That
yeah.
shit part of the
But to
dome. The
prove
Van
that,
Allen belt.
I was talking
It's
on
all
earlier with
energy.
Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd was a part of this project called Fishbowl. What you think Fishbowl was? They were trying to blow up that
Yeah.
electromagnetic wall that's out there.
Yup. And that's why I tell people, how do a fish know it's in a fish tank? It don't know
The same, and
unless you
I
take it
think
out the
you was
fish tank.
telling us about it before, yo. The white dude that was in the submarine that found water inside of water.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you talking
That's
about
the
that
electromagnetic
waterfall?
wave at the bottom. You
Yeah,
said
them
it's
yeah,
who?
them folks found a waterfall inside the ocean. That shit crazy.
Not only did they find a waterfall, bro, they found a whole nother pool of water that they could not submerge into. When they tried to
Nope.
submerge the submarine, it'll bounce off.
It bounced them straight off. Firmament.
Yeah, that's the bottom of the firmament. So if you want to say we technically live on a ball, yeah, technically we do live on the ball because there's a ball around us, but we the disc in the middle of the ball.
Yep.
That's the best way to explain that joint. The firmament is the ball, and then we like a flat disc in the middle of the ball, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna stunt, bro. We're gonna have to get up here and plan a live one day, yo, just for us to have a full conversation. I kind of feel like I'm intervening on your live right now, but I love having these conversations with somebody who like-minded, bro. It feels good to be able to vibrate with somebody on the same frequency or even higher than my own.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. I'm doing another live event on Wednesday. We can go ahead and do that right there if you want to.
Oh, sure, bro. Just let me know what time and what you gonna conversate on.
Okay. I got you. I'll send it straight to you with the topic and everything once I set it.
All right, that'll work, bro. I ain't gonna hold your live up too much, and I'll go ahead and hop off and let you get back on your teaching.
I appreciate you tapping in.
Hey, I appreciate you allowing me to, bro. And remember, bro, I won't try to defend them cats. I was just letting people know the truth. They got us. They got us bad.
Oh
They
yeah, they
got us
did.
bad.
I
They
understand.
tricked the world out of us. And they gave us the book and took our riches.
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
yeah, I
then
got you.
I ain't gonna start. Don't get mad at me on this one. Hey, but I hate that cat, Monster Musa. I can't stand him because he's the one who taught them cats how to bathe and read. If you'd have never
Oh,
taught
don't
them
get
how to
it
bathe and
twisted.
read, them
Oh,
cats
don't
wouldn't have
get it
came.
twisted now. Like I ain't defending him either. Hey, when people really do when people really do the real back history on some of these folks that they glorifying to us, that's why I tell them it's a reason why they're glorified in these Anglo-Saxon books. You know what I'm saying? Is
Them
hey,
Anglo-Saxon and them caucasoids is who got us, because a lot of people don't know this. Over here in America, they got us thinking that the Anglo-Saxons is the natives. They're not. It's us. It's
nope.
me and you right here, bro. I can look at you and tell you your peoples is from here, bro. You
Yeah,
probably
man.
Algonquin or Chickasaw or something, or Samo, what's it, Seminole or the
Uh-huh.
Gullahs, your skin complexion. I could kind of tell, or you mixed with one of them.
I'm mixed.
Me myself,
I'm Gullah Geechee and Tiano.
on God, bro. That's probably why I
Yeah.
vibrate with you so much because I'm a melting pot, bro. I'm my dad's side is Taino, Chickasaw, and then my grandfather's from Tobago. But my mom's
Yeah.
side is Blackfoot, Cherokee, Chickasaw, and freaking Honduran.
Yeah. And that's why I tell people if anything, a lot of us is just indigenous tribes mixed with other indigenous tribes at
I'm
the
not
end of the
sure what
day.
we started talking about with that joint, but you got to think about it. We went from 500 million people to only 50 million. We had no
Yep.
choice but to start mixing to try and keep us alive, bro.
Exactly.
We are the Mayans. We are the Aztecs, bro.
All day. Yeah, I got a slide on that one too.
I know
I
because
think I
we
got it.
talked
I
about
hope
that
I got it.
before. Because I think I had got on your live just to prove that we are the biblical land. That Florida
Yep.
itself is Egypt. That
Yep.
Jerusalem was over here, all that stuff. Because I was telling you, go on my page, and I got a bunch of those videos up there with a dude in a museum. I want to say he was in Missouri, and the museum in the Missouri showed you the original DC White House, the one that they
Mm.
built on top of, with this pond and
Um,
everything, this beautiful pond in front of it. Then he even showed you a map where a lot of people gonna feel like, wait, what? I'm gonna use the first city that caught my mind, bro. There was a city on that map that said Krypton, bro.
mm.
No lie, man. That joint said, man, they had Krypton over here. Something from France over here. Morocco was over here. Jerusalem was over here. Egypt was over here. There was a city created in Mexico for Horus that they try and say was over there in Kemet. And the reason I call it Kemet is because that place was never Egypt. That place was called
Uh-huh.
Kemet, the city of darkness. And the reason it was called the city of darkness was because all the inhabitants was blacker than we are, and the soil was even dark, dark. Like I mean, it was that dark because of some like black mineral that would come in with the water and mix in with the
Uh-huh.
soil. The soil was like, I mean, oil black. So they called
Yep.
that place City of Darkness. Kemet was never Egypt. Africa isn't Africa. It's something
Nope.
that starts like AK or AT or something like that. I can't remember how you say it because when the African said it, that shit, it literally blew my mind, bro. Like and like the only reason I could say like it blew my mind was because you know when you're hearing the truth. I don't care what nobody say. That joint just vibrates with your soul when you know you hear the truth. Sometimes people, the hair on their neck will stand up and stuff like that, or one eye will tear up. That's when you know you're hearing the truth. Your soul is actually vibrating with that true knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't even notice that. But yeah, like I was telling you, though, there's a bunch of videos on my page of people in the museums. I found this video of this chick that was reading the Bible from before 1601. Like she called it the 1601 Bible, and it showed you a map of Florida, but it was named Egypt, bro. And it was telling you the whole story of Moses filtering the water in Florida using rocks and minerals so he can make drinking water because the water was too salty. The people cried so much for food and stuff that God sent them quail. Where's quail at? Out on the borderline of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
we are the biblical people, or how one of your people said early in the live, the children of Ham. We are the Israelites, bro, and they trying to
Uh-huh.
keep that hidden. Even a lot of people don't realize that World War II was fought over this knowledge because World War II is Hitler. Hitler has in one of his journals where he reported before he committed suicide that when everybody realized what he was fighting for, he will still start World War III because he's fighting for God's Jews, the original Jews. The people who run
Uh-huh.
America are not the real Jews.
Oh no. Not at all.
Not at all. Because if people look into Jews, the word Jew actually just can break down to somebody who's from Jerusalem, right? But the people
Uh-huh.
of Jerusalem is what? Hebrews. What does the word Hebrew mean? Copper color people.
Yep. And it stands for copper colored people and the ones from over the river or over the seas or something like that. Well, foreigners, pretty much. They were foreigners.
Yep. And that's because The American slave trade that everybody think is the slave trade isn't the slave trade. It's actually the original trade route of South America, America, Canada, Russia, and freaking Africa. They was trading with us
Mm-hmm.
back then because if you actually look into it, I can't remember where they're trying to say the coca plant and the poppy seed plant grow now, but that originally grew over here, bro, with tobacco. We used to
Mm-hmm.
use all that stuff for medical purposes and also to try and tap into the psychedelic side of things. That's how I'm worried about.
I gotta slide on that next too. I'm telling you, hey, I did. Hey, we here for
Hey,
adult live, bit.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's why I like hopping in your lives, bro, because you
Yeah.
know the other half of almost everything I know, bro.
Hey, like I always say, that this shit is a jigsaw puzzle. That's why I understand why people be beefing over pieces to the puzzle instead of just putting it together.
Hey, bro, no lie, bro. That's why I think the way I think, bro. My grandfather told me that as a kid. I think I was like 6 years old, bro. My grandfather said, "Don't you ever get fixed on one book, because each book is a piece of the puzzle."
Yep, exactly.
I promise I got every book downloaded in my phone. I don't just that's why it's taking me so long to read the Bible. Because I will read a couple passages out of one and then go read the same passages out of the next one to see if this thing's worded differently, et cetera, et cetera. And they are. Because I'm gonna use the King James version. There's a verse in the King James version that was out back in like before 2006, 2007. They done changed it because people realized what this Bible was saying. The Bible actually said, honor your slave master as you will honor thy father that sits in heaven. But if you read the Quran said to honor your earthly father as you honor thy father that sits in heaven. The Torah just
Mm.
tells you to honor your, I think it actually says to honor your parents as you will honor thy father that sits in heaven. Why is the King James Version the only one that says honor your slave master?
That boy King James was ruthless, man. That all skin folk, your kinfolk.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder because there's two different King James that I'm finding in history. Which one actually
Ah,
wrote the
yeah. It's it's two of them.
which one actually wrote
It's
the
the most.
Bible? I'm leaning more towards the white dude because he was around when Catholicism took over, bro.
That,
So is it the
here's
black
the
King
thing.
James or the white one?
Here's the thing with it though. There's two King James, but the original King James is the melanated one. The Anglo-Saxon or the fair skinned one is the one who stole his identity. So at that time, you had two of them running around. So it was a big confusion, and
So yeah, you
and
still
you got
messing
different
with a little bit.
and you got different King James version Bibles too. Like one thing I noticed that one King James version will say something from a whole different one too, and they just man these
And
books
I'm
is.
starting to think that how you said it is how it went. Bro stole his identity and flipped everything. Because if
Mhm,
you notice, like you said, there's different King James versions. There's one under Catholicism and there's one under
mhm.
Christianity. And I keep hearing people say Christianity was around before Catholicism. So I'm starting to feel like that round table took Christianity, flipped it, and made it into the slave concept that we have today.
Hey, we gonna dig. Hey, we gonna dig in that in a future live. That goes back to the peso Christ that I be talking about the peso Christ and all of them. That ties into that. There's everybody is fixated on the Council of Nicaea, but I keep telling them that there was three councils before Council of Nicaea, and this whole shit been in place since the 36 BC. And we know that the gene hasn't mutated, so these are melanated people we dealing with who's doing this evil shit in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? White folk just written themselves into the evilness after they done got everybody else out the way. You
That's
know?
another thing that I'm curious about too. Because the more I hear about this, it's sounding like I was saying earlier, they flipped everything. So did they
Mm-hmm.
actually write themselves in, or was they the hand behind the story in the first place?
You talking about like the puppet of everything. Like we gonna use
Yeah,
them as the
like
face of this shit.
are they really the puppets, or are they part of the puppet master team? Because
Because I
the more
always said
I end up
because I
delving
always
into
felt
this,
like
but
right
they actually
because
saying that there's people above them, bro.
yeah, because I always said that if the world was melanated in the beginning, so that means that all the wicked people who hated the children of Israel, or the chosen kids, had to be melanated in the beginning, and royal family and all of that. So when these new the genetic mutation come into play, which are like the kids of
That's
everything. You know what I'm
foolishness.
saying? Man, we're gonna use y'all as a diversion, and we're gonna hide behind y'all because nobody will ever think that a melanated face will be the one that's controlling everything. You know what I'm saying? And if you peep game now, I can kind of start believing it because like I said at the beginning of the live, it takes one of us to keep one of us down. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, bro.
somebody over the Rothschilds has to be melanated because the Rothschild last name is Ashkenazi. We know Ashkenazi come from the tribe of Japhet, and we know the tribe of Japhet was once melanated before the gene mutated. So that means that their ancestors come from the
You just
original bloodline. The only thing different is just their genes been spliced. That's
you
it.
just
Only thing
gave me
different
a
is they
whole
genes been
other
spliced. It's no
idea,
different.
bro.
It's no different if you are a father and you have a child, but your child's genes were still spliced or genetically mutated. You still gonna love that because that's your kid, regardless. So that's
Yeah.
how. So that's how I look at it. Like their parents or like their ancient ancestors, of course, had to be melanated, but they still love them no matter what. But since we already don't like the children of Israel, we're gonna go ahead and use y'all as the face of everything, and we gonna sit
Mhm.
in the back and take a break. It's man, hey,
Yo,
I
you
said
was over. You ever,
whoever created this shit, whoever created this shit is a cold villain.
you ever seen that white boy that be on TikTok and YouTube? I forgot what his name is. It's something God, I think.
Uh-uh.
He's talking about the Giants and all that. You just
I ain't
opened
see
my
that one yet.
brain up to two whole new possibilities, yo. Because I never thought of the idea of one of our own ancient ancestors being the one running things. But then I also thought about this. You ever realize that in the Bible they claim there's more species?
Mm,
You basically got the Anunnaki, the humanoids, reptilians. Uh, I forgot the name of the things. It's supposed to be like half bird, half human type things.
mm-hmm.
What if they
I
won't
know.
over exaggerate? They even have a race called the Lemurians, right? And there was
Mm-hmm.
supposedly a war between the Lemurians and the Anunnaki and some reptilian race. So what if one of those three races are the ones behind the scenes, and it's not even us no more?
Yeah,
What if
I
the
I
ancestor you
believe it.
speak of helped one of them three races reach the top, and they decided to use the Caucasoids to go against us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you got to remember the Slavs are the slave race, so it'll be sense to send them to do the dirty work.
Yup, bro. You just when I tell you, you just opened my mind to so many different possibilities, bro. You really did.
Hey,
You got thinking, bro.
the world is a big place, and one thing people gotta understand about history is that all of this shit was happening simultaneously. While shit was happening over here, shit was going on over there, things was going, it was chaos. It was a lot of stuff going on back then. So this why I tell people like there's no sense in beefing over knowledge because what you saying is true because that did happen. But let me tell you what happened over here at the same time because at
Yep.
1932 the Moors and all them left Spain, but at the same time, 1432, Columbus, he found his way. Well, we ain't gonna say found his way because he knew exactly where he was going, but he came over here, and
Then he
at the
got
same time,
lost after he got
1432,
here.
it was shit going on in Germany with the wild men and the Moors and shit. Like all this stuff was happening simultaneously. So beefing over knowledge and saying that you're right and I'm wrong, that don't make sense because all this really happened, and we saying the same thing.
Bro, I feel like what you're saying right now, the simplest way to say it is we all little kids playing with a puzzle and we fighting over puzzle pieces thinking we doing
There you
different
go.
puzzles, but we all doing the same fucking puzzle. Put the shit together and stop fussing.
There you go. There you go. And this is why they call us minorities. The root word is minor because we still operate from a minor mindset, you know what I'm saying, as little kids. And this is why we need a govern to govern our mentals because we still operating as minors, which makes us
Uh,
minorities. So the moment we stop acting like minors and kids and really start standing up on some shit, then it is what it
yeah,
is. We can graduate. But
I seen
you know,
somewhere one of the ancestors was speaking on that, and he basically was telling us that we're allowing them to keep us at a lower vibrational state and allow them to self-govern us when we can turn around, vibrate on a higher frequency, and self-govern ourselves. That's the whole point of, you might as well say, what Jesus was trying to teach, that
mhm.
everything lies within us, including God, and we can self-govern ourselves. We don't actually need them. And there's even freaking treaties and paperwork behind Morocco in America that tells you that.
Mm,
Yeah, bro, we don't have to let America govern us. America, I don't know. I thought I had told you that last slide. America is the foreign government. It is not the actual land. Like if you look at a map, America or United
right.
States should not be the name of the land. The name of the land is, as the ancient ancestors call it, even I think it was Turtle Island and El Morocco and
Yep.
a Murky or a Merca,
Well,
but I know it
well,
wasn't
yeah.
America.
You got well, well, the North America part was it was Turtle Island. Then South America was the Plum Serpent, and then the West Indies was India, and that was Hindustan at that time. And Florida was also India as well. And
Bro.
and they changed the names a lot. Then you got the Morocco name that you said, and then there's another name, Tamari and
There you
Americans. You
go.
know, yeah. So
There you
America
go.
been that name is old. Like that shit didn't come from Americo Vespucci, no none of that shit. That's
Oh, that wasn't even his
Americans, and
real name.
Khans means king and emperor, huh?
That his name won't even American whatever you said his name was. That wasn't even his real name.
Nah, it sure
They had
wasn't.
changed that
And
shit
yeah, they changed
because
his
that was
name.
the same.
And Christopher Columbus ain't even his name. They changed his name too.
Nah, his name was Colombo or some shit like that.
Hmm.
His name was Colombo or something. Like, and
And
then the
then
thing that gets
they,
me, bro, is only on names. Why does everybody think that these names that's in the book is the correct name? Because the American language wasn't fully created back then. So why would his
nope.
name be Christopher? Why would his name be Christopher?
Exactly.
It's an American name. Why would his name be Christopher? Well, let's go to the Bible. Why would that dude be Jacob?
That shit, Christopher is an Anglo-Saxon name from Germany.
Yeah, like,
You know?
bro, that's what,
But
man.
this man,
People
and
don't understand.
this man was from Spain, well, Italy, but they said that he also had a bloodline that linked him to Greece and Greeks as well. And when he signed his name, it was in Greek on all of his books. Like, so how does this man speak Greek or write his name in Greek, but his name is Anglo-Saxon and shit? Like, people gotta start putting that shit together. Like, it don't even. But then he's a Marrano at the same time. So like,
The
and
simplest
in some books, these folks are saying that Christopher Columbus didn't even fucking exist. So I'm like, you know, who the fuck came over here? Who was this dude?
like I like we saying, bro. 2 plus 2 equals 4, my brother. Everybody trying to add
Mhm.
numbers to make it equal 5 and 6. Nah, man, 2 plus 2 equals 4, bro. They straight lie.
All day.
Like even when it comes down to them lying, like the proof is in the pudding to me. If they won't lying, why is the Vatican full of melanated people? Have you ever paid attention to all the
Man,
paint in the Vatican? In the
the
back,
who?
they're black, but when you go to the main part that everybody can see, them people white. If you
Hmm.
go to the fourth chambers, bro, he got a black painting of Mary Magdalene holding
Yep.
baby Jesus. And baby Jesus looks like an oil spill. That's how black he is in the paint.
Hmm. I'm trying to tell you,
It's joint.
man. But let me get back to these slides real quick, bit dog.
All right, I got you. Peace, God, and don't forget to send me all the information, man. I ain't always open to conversate. Because like for one, I
Oh
ain't gonna
yeah,
lie
most
to you,
definitely.
I'm stuck on retirement right now because I had got sick a few years back. But so I got time.
Uh,
Just hit me up, you know, bro.
I got you most definitely.
Peace, God.
I be easy. Said he look like a. He said, Star C said he like, oh yeah, man, this is crazy. Hey man, that's what's up, man. Like I said, anybody who wanna jump on the live and iron sharpens iron with your boy, man, y'all always welcome. We can set up a live event date when it's just us tag teaming the live and giving the people what they really want. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we already took over TikTok. Let's go ahead and take over that bit fully. You feel me? This our platform. You did. Since they always want to take shit from us, we're gonna take this bitch from them. Now, let's go ahead and continue because I got a couple more slides for y'all with my phone charger at real quick. Don't need my live dying on y'all. Don't need nobody to get spooked. Oh my god, they got them. I'm gonna plug my phone up. I don't need my live getting cut and y'all thinking something happened to your boy. Cause it don't go down like that with me. It don't go down like that with me. Coming here, they gonna have a hard time. But anyway, let's go ahead and get back into it. You feel me? Uh, where we at though? Where we at? Where we at? Let's see. We left off at. Oh yeah, hold on. Shout out to everybody for all the likes and all the gifts and all the comments and interactions. I've been peeping y'all. You know what I'm saying? And we got all the trolls out, so now we can go ahead and coast. So shout out to everybody to the live, all the first timers to the live. I hope y'all enjoying yourselves. I hope y'all do follow your boy and check in and check out more lives and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and get back to it though. So now it said, okay, yeah. So General Mad Anthony Wayne, aka the Black Snake, was a melanated Indian who served under the George Washington administration. If anybody got time, y'all go ahead and do y'all research and look up that dude real quick. I ain't get a chance to look him up. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I might bring y'all a video tomorrow on him because this is interesting right here, though. General Mad Anthony Wayne, aka the Black Snake, was a melanated Indian who served under the George Washington administration. The army of General Anthony Wayne consisted of mostly melanated Indians in the ranks, as did the entire Colonial Government army. Besides melanated Indians making up the bulk of new Colonial Government Army America, Moors also filled up the ranks. Y'all know I got to do this, so we're gonna pause right here. Cause anytime they bring up Moors, I gotta drop a couple of knowledge of the gems of the Moors. You know what I'm saying? Cause we go deep. We gonna get back to this real quick. Remember, we left off at 44. Moors. Moors. Talking about these people. Y'all can't tell me that this Moor don't look like he from Florida. You heard me? Look at him. He look like he from Florida, bro. Miami, Dade County, 305. You know what I'm saying? Look at him. He looked like he from Florida. The Moors. Turbans with the feather. Seminoles, Gullah Geechee. What's happening? You know what I'm saying? I hope the screen big enough, but if it's not, the Google search bar on the images says Blackamoor Indians. So shout out to my Mexican brother who's on here who said that I caught that comment, but he said that if my melanated brothers and sisters are the original, I'm happy for them, and I want to tell him, big dog, if you are a Mexican, you are an original as well. You are brothers or sisters on this channel, bro. We don't do that. We don't do that one drop blood rule. If you got American Indian in your blood, more than Anglo-Saxon, that is. We're gonna be the direct. If you got if you got that in your blood, you feel me? You are the OG. If you, I'm not. I'm talking about specific American Indian blood. I'm talking about that copper color, antediluvian, the antediluvian, melanated, hair growing to the sun, skin glowing and glistening. Yeah, original beings whose Y chromosomes is over 300,000 years old. If you're that, if you got that in your blood, you are a brother, you are a sister, you are part of the OG clan. You feel me? We are brothers and sisters. We ain't doing no more division on here. You know what I'm saying? I hate to see brown and black beefing when brown and black is melanin. We are the same. We are family. We are the same. Just because don't get hung up on the phenotypes and the skin complexions. You feel me? Because the shit that ties us together is skin deep. It's at the roots. I'm talking about the roots. You did? You know, deeper the roots, man, the blacker the flesh. You feel me? The darker the flesh. You did? So we brothers and sisters, and the day that we wake up to that is the day that we realize they didn't kill all the American Indians. That story is bullshit about the smallpox and stuff. That was a huge ass lie. We are still here. We're not at 500 billion no more or 500 million no more, but we not that far off either, because once the Mexicans wake up and realize that we the same, and the Native American Indian brothers and sisters that's on the reservations wake up and understand that we are brothers and sisters, and the Caribbeans, Brazil, South America start kicking in and start waking up to this, you be like, our numbers ain't go nowhere. We just got separated. Most definitely, we got separated. You feel me? It's no. Think about this. Think about this. You have a daughter, right? Your daughter. Say you got. Say you got an American Indian, copper color, melanated daughter, and she marries outside the family, and you have an offspring. That offspring is still part of the main family, the main roots of everything. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's out of the family, it's half, it's mixed or whatever, the root of everything is still that. So just because we may look different and your hair might be slicker and you might took on some of the features of the European and the Spaniard, and you might took on the features, but deep down in that skin, man, we all the same. And we all the same because a Mexican like digging with black folks' food and music and culture, and we like y'all food and music and culture, and y'all like our women, and we like y'all women, and y'all like our men, and y'all like it's just the same like that. You know what I'm saying? Why you think that there's a connection like that so much? Your music is high vibration. Ours is high vibration. The food got that spice, that them ingredients. It sound like grandmama was inside that kitchen. You feel me? And it's the same thing over here. It's the same thing. Same thing. Same people. Same tribe. One tribe, many branches. One big ass tree, many branches. You feel me? But we gonna get back to it though real quick. I just had to do this because it said Moors, and it's gonna bring me to this. And it's gonna bring me to this book real quick. We're gonna get back to the 103 melanated, but a history of signboards from the earliest times to the present day by Jacob Lorwood and John Camden Houghton. You feel me? Check this out. 1866. So, red box, y'all know how we do. What does that say? Blackamoors or other dark skinned foreigners. Blackamoors or other dark skinned foreigners. If everybody is from Africa, how is other foreigners and other dark skinned foreigners? How does other dark skinned foreigners and we all come from Africa correlate? It doesn't, because we all didn't come from Africa. We came from the earth. You did? So now, blackamoors and other dark skinned foreigners have always possessed considerable attractions as signs for tobacconists and sometimes also for public houses. Who's in public housing now? So now, Negroes with feather headdresses and kilts smoking pipes are to be seen outside tobacco shops on the continent as well as in England. Thus, in the 17th century, there was one in Amsterdam with the following inscriptions: Joshua Badet den Heer van Harden An. So pretty much they speak in their little Amsterdam language. We ain't gonna butcher that too much. You feel me? But that's just the beginning of it. And it says in the 17th and 18th century, the Virginian, shout out to my Virginia Indians who's on the live, was the most common in England, owing to the first tobacco having been imported from that country. And then we're gonna go down here and it says, uh publicans have a strange fancy for Indian kings and queens and chiefs, thus bearing out Tranquillo's assertions of the nations. So you got blackamoors, Indian kings, chiefs, queens, kilts, Negroes, feather headdresses, as in the turbans with the feather headdresses. Yeah, man, look. Check this out. But we gonna, like I said, we're gonna get back. But this also is something because back in those days, the Europeans called what our ancestors smoked tobacco because that's all they knew over there on that side of the world. See, we talking about a time, and I don't care if anybody want to debate me on that because I don't really debate no more. But we talking about a time where cannabis haven't left America for real like that. And it haven't left the West Indies like that. See, America is the real old world, and everything that's ancient came from here, even cannabis. So that tobacco wasn't really tobacco. And Christopher Columbus wrote about it though. So, History of the Life and Voyages of Christopher Columbus by Washington Irving. Check this out. Volume 1. Catch up in the comments real quick. He said, this dude looks like Washington, I'm dead. He said, oh my God, how much of our history did they have from us? All of it. They hid all of our history and culture, traditions, and religions from us. A lot of our culture, tradition, religions is so amazing that people won't even believe it because they got people trapped inside this slave mentality that they can't see themselves being nothing higher than that. Yeah, people call themselves kings and queens, but do you actually believe it? Because that shit is real. People call themselves chiefs and shaman and witches and warlocks and druids, but do you believe that shit? Because it's real, man. Who we really are is so sci-fi cosmetic, man, that they can't even figure this shit out. So they write our culture under myth and all that other stuff. But that's a whole nother life for a whole nother day. But they hear everything. Most definitely, Rita, dodge the hijack. You heard me? He said we here, yup. Thanks for this info. Definitely going to look these books up. Most definitely, you're welcome. Lies, my teacher told me read that one. I heard of that book. I'm gonna have to catch up on that. So now, check this out real quick. Red box, y'all know how we get down. So Christopher Columbus made his way to Cuba right now, West Indies. Shout out to the Tianos out there, my brothers and sisters. So on their way back, they for the first time witnessed the use of a weed. for the first time. That means it was not over there. All them people had over there was tobacco. That's all they was smoking over there. So of course, when they seen what we was rolling up, they thought it was tobacco. So that's what they called it. But over here, the only thing tobacco that we was smoking was the Rellos that we was rolling this shit up in. You feel me? It look, man. You wonder why you like blunt so much, melanated person. You want to know why you try to smoke joints and shit like that, but you need that tobacco leaf to put your weed in. Y'all go to Jamaica. It's a thing called gaba. Gaba is tobacco with cannabis mixed in it and they smoke it. It's no different than you putting your weed in that swisher or that wrap that says tobacco on it and rolling it up. You're smoking gaba. See, that's why I say a lot of us are West Indians and don't even know it. A lot of y'all come from Haiti and don't even know it. You know how many of my ancestors and brothers and sisters and y'all know how many of us got sent out of Haiti when them people first landed to us because they first hit us up? They sent a lot of us the fuck out of Haiti, man. They sent a lot of us. They sent a lot of us to Jamaica. They sent a lot of us to Cape Verde, the westernmost part of Africa. They sent us to England. They sent us to America, South America. They sent us to Brazil. They sent us everywhere. That's why I said a lot of y'all got Haitian. And shout out to all my people from Louisiana and Texas and the southern states. Y'all most definitely got Haitian blood. So all y'all who used to clown me back in the day for being Haitian, congratulations. Y'all got Haitian blood too. So, and then you got some Jamaican blood in you. A lot of us come from the islands. A lot of us come from South America and Brazil. A lot of us, like they said earlier in the comments, we are the Mayans. We are the Incas. Are the Aztecs, the Tianos, the Lucayans, the Caribs. We are these people, man. For real. We are these folks, I'm telling you. Now, check this out though. On their way back, they for the first time witnessed the use of a weed. I wonder what it was. Was it that Kush? Kush. America is the old world. Shout out to Kush. I wonder was it that Kush they were smoking? You feel me? Which the indigenous Caprice. Now you know why you like to drive a Caprice, which the indigenous caprice of man has since converted into a universal luxury. Oh man, our ancestors was dripped in gold, smoking good green, and they called that shit luxury. Man, don't you feel luxurious when you rolling a blunt, you pearl that thing right on up, and you put that fire to the end of that thing, boy? You feeling luxurious. You like and all your problems just go away. You just, man, fuck everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't even give a fuck no more. You know what I'm saying? Luxurious. You did. So now, in defiance of the opposition of the senses, they beheld several of the natives going about with fire bands in their hands. That's what they called blunts back in the day. Fire bands. And I might go ahead and start putting that back in my vocabulary, you know what I'm saying? Rolling up one of these fire bands, you heard me? But that's what they called it though. Fire bands in their hand. And certain dried herbs. Certain dried herbs. We don't smoke anything, you know what I'm saying? Certain dried herbs, which they rolled up in a leaf, tobacco leaf. That's why they call it tobacco that we were smoking. But and lighting one end, putting the other to their mouths, and continue exhaling and puffing out the smoke. We already know how that go. These rolls, they call tobacco. The rolls is what we call your swishers. You gut it and you split it out. That's your rolls, which was the tobacco. You feel what I'm saying? So now, a name since transferred to the plant of which they were made. See? At first, even the tobacco plant wasn't called tobacco. It just became that when them folks called what we called tobacco. You did? But the Spaniards were struck with astonishment. They were struck with astonishment at this singular indulgence, although prepared to meet with wonders. Meaning, they was ready to hit that bit. And we got, and that's the story of how we got Christopher Columbus high. So, you know what I'm saying? Not only did we show them people how to farm, how to garden, how to cultivate the earth, we taught them about the traditions, the religions, the cultures. We showed them artifacts, we showed them pyramid. You know what I'm saying? We let them in. We even let them hit the weed. Damn, boy, that betrayal run deep. We even let you hit the herb, man. When we don't let everybody hit the herb, dog. We let you hit the herb, man. That's how friendly we is, bro. That's why niggas don't smoke with everybody no more. What y'all talk about it here? Big up to Trinidad. From Trinidad, what's happening, Trinidad? Big Haiti on my end. Freezing up. They call that happy tobacco, yeah. We call it a spliff. I'm Haitian. What's happening, Skittles? Appreciate that, Sapase. I'm a Tiano from Jamaica, Hispaniola. Yeah, there we go. Tiano's in the building. And you say from Jamaica too, you probably got a little maroon in you too. A little maroon got that, Sephardic Jews and Moors. He said, Rita said, I smoked that at. You feel me? There are trees in Jamaica that bleed blood. Oh yeah, most definitely. Draped up and dripped out, man. Beauty of the shadows. Love you, man. I appreciate that. Love y'all too for tuning in. Hello, family. I'm late here, brother. Can you please post this live to YouTube? Thanks. Ah, yeah, I got you, Ladybug. This will most definitely go on my live. You can look for it in the morning. I'm gonna post it tonight, and it'll be ready in the morning after they, do their little review or whatever. Right? They broke the circle of trust. Hey, Ariel, you heard me? They did. They broke the circle of trust, man. What's happening, boom? I'm about to do my ancestry for real. I've been talking about it since last year. Hey, go on do that genealogy. Go on do that genealogy. I'm telling you, you're gonna be surprised when you start shaking that family tree. You're gonna be surprised what come out of your tree. When you shake that family tree hard enough, you'll be surprised what come out that thing. You hear me? So now, all right, now we getting back here. All right, getting back to 103 amazing facts of the melanated Indian of the Western Hemisphere. I just wanted to go ahead, since that whole Moor segment popped up in there, I just want to go ahead and do that little drop real quick of Black Moors and how we got Christopher Columbus and all the other Moors and Moranos lit. Cause we got them boys lit when they came over here, man. Them boys was lit, man. And rum comes from the island. So we showed them boys a good time. Barbecue is a Tiano word. So I could just imagine when them boys pulled up, man, our people was out there barbecuing. We was rolling fire bands, blunts, and we was drinking rum. Nigga, that sound like a block party to me. I know a block party when I seen one, and I know folks was on them drums with the chants, rapping, singing, doing what they doing. Ladies over there belly dancing, shaking, doing, man, that was a block party when they pulled up. I know Thanksgiving, they tried to make Thanksgiving look all pilgrim, man. Thanksgiving was a block party, man. Them folk were turning up, man. Them Moors came over with the Morano, they was rolling up, drink, man. Y'all know how we get down. Quit playing. But they gotta dress it up all nice for the kids. But we know, man, we know what we knew. I know a party when I hear one in these stories, bro. Quit playing with me. You know what I'm saying? We was turning up. Said fire bands. I'm using that. I'm most definitely using fire bands. So now the banners is in my way up there. I hope y'all can see that. So we're gonna go ahead and drop down where we is at. We left right there. Okay. We're gonna start at 48. So other melanated Indians joined the Union side of the American Civil War to fight for their own objectives as well. One of those objectives being seeking prosperity within the American system. Hmm. What's that say? Nickelback, number 49. I got that word in front. Let's see right here. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what that is. Nickelback. Oh, also known as oh, I see what they doing with that. Okay, so we can't say that word on here, but y'all see it though. So, also known as N-word Jack, was a melanated Chickamauga melanated Indian. So y'all see what they call this melanated Indian, right? They called him N-word Jack. Was a melanated Chickamauga, a melanated Indian. This ancestor led raids against the colonial rebel army Americans during the colonial rebel uprising, American Revolutionary War. He fought alongside of the British Tories. His hideout was a cave in the vicinity of what is now known as Chattanooga, Tennessee. Oh shit. Shout out to people who's in Tennessee. Y'all might want to go check out his hideout if it's still there. In the state of Georgia, shout out to my people in Georgia, you feel me? We in here. In the region known as Cobb County, Cobb County, there is a park, a road, and a creek named after this great warrior. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Bro, I grew up in Georgia. I done been in Cobb County. I done probably drove down the street, seen the sign, and didn't even know that this was a melanated Indian. I wonder how many of these, all of them. Shout out my people who's in Louisville, Kentucky. I just told y'all that the Iroquois was a melanated Indian tribe. And I took y'all to the Iroquois Park earlier, I think earlier in my live doings, in which I might go back up there and show y'all the lookout, since now you know that where I was at on the lookout staring out at the city was an Indian mound, and not only was it an Indian mound, it was an Iroquois Indian mound, and the Iroquois was a melanated Indian tribe. Right there in your backyard, all of our stuff in your backyard. Well, it's in their museums, but most of the stuff is in your backyard, just like that. You don't need all these Indian mounds, and they don't even tell you about it because they made it into parks now. A lot of these parks are sacred grounds, which our ancestors used to hunt. You feel me? A lot of these are burial grounds. That's why a lot of these parks be hunted at nighttime. Man, look, cold game. The only ones written out of history is the melanated Indians, the copper colored tribes. We the only ones written out of history. We the only ones. If you mention to people about copper colored tribes, they're like, oh, they all died out from disease and shit. We the only ones that mysteriously died out from disease. The Mayans are the only ones who mysteriously disappeared from history. They want to, oh, these guys opened up a portal and disappeared and all that old crazy. Man, these folks ain't opened up no portal. These folks got enslaved, and the only portals they went was on the port to Jamaica and Haiti and Florida. That's why they disappeared and they forgot who they are, which is us. And that's what happened to the real Mayans and Aztecs and Incas, and then they threw this nice little fairy story on it. Oh, these ancient aliens came and the Mayan calendar and poof and portals and bro, get the fuck out of here, nigga. That Mayan calendar was black people time. We move to our own frequency, our own beat, and we do our own thing. That's because we are nature. We are the OGs, and we operate to our own drum. That's why we don't like being on time. We can't be on time if our lives depended on it. That's because we move with the universe. That's why niggas can wake up early, leave out the crib early, go to the store early, get down the street, and you can get to the red light to your job. And something will happen, and you will be 2 minutes late to that bit. Cause man, we operate on our own frequency. I'm telling you, man. And melanated people, we know that time. Shout out to my Latinos, they be on that same time. They be man. Well, we are the same people, dog. I'm trying to tell y'all, we be on that same time. You feel me? For people that don't know how melanated people rock, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all in, bro. When we say we around the corner, we ain't really around the corner, dog. You lucky if we even left the house. You lucky we even if we ever leave the house, bro. But we not around the corner, bro. But when we tell you around the corner, that's about like 30 minutes, 40 minutes away. You know what I'm saying? Something like that around that, you know what I'm saying? But when we be like we pulling up, we ain't literally pulling up, bro. We at the stoplight a couple of blocks down. Our pulling up is about 10, 15 minutes. We'll be pulling up on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we do our own thing. You did. But I when I was doing my American Indian research though, because after my grandmama told me Blackfoot and my other grandmama told me Tiano, and then my pops and my great granddaddy and my granddaddy was talking about Sephardic Jews and Moors and everything in our family. I got to digging. And when I got to digging, that's when I started noticing that the only people that's written out of history are the melanated people, such as the copper colored tribes. Where did they go? Oh, they all got smallpox and died. But these are still here. Okay, cool, cool. Dang, what happened to uh the Israelites, like the melanated Israelites, the Sephardic Jews and Moors? What happened to them? Oh shit, they just they know more. Fuck you mean they know more? How do a nation of people just be no more, bro? That shit don't even make sense. They just don't exist no more. How they don't exist? See, and then when they tell you that they don't exist, people automatically think genocide or dead. But you gotta think history books. They don't exist no more in history. They did back in the 1800s and early 1900s, but they don't exist no more in schools. That's the genocide. The genocide is not physical because we still here. The genocide is the shit that, yeah, that's the genocide right there. The smallpox that we all got killed from, that's a nice fairy tale, ain't it? Yeah, man, that's a nice fairy tale. We all died from all that shit, but we can't even die from a FLU though. You can't even kill us from the new shit that y'all releasing, but we died from smallpox and shit though. Knowing our ancestors was ancient shamans and we knew about black seed oil and ashwagandha and dandelion root and we knew about lion's mane and MACA. We know about bardock root and we know about all these other herbs and everything that cure everything. We died from smallpox though. Fuck out of here, bro. How did we die from smallpox? From what the Anglo-Saxons brought, but nobody else died from that specific disease. You know what I'm saying? But oh shit, you gotta talk about the Black Plague though. The Black Plague came. Oh shit, the Black Plague. That story's sketchy as fuck too if y'all dig into it. Because if the Black Plague came and it really wiped out a fourth of the Anglo-Saxon population, that's a small ass number because they was already a small ass tribe in the beginning. You talking about a fourth of a population? 25% of the population got wiped out during the Black Plague when these people was barely 25% anyways, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. That story's sketchy too. That story's sketchy too. All these stories, man, you gotta like, hell no. That shit sketchy, man. It came from rats and shit. Boy, rats still exist today. Where the fuck is the plague at? It's still rats, but these rats is big as shit nowadays. Y'all been in New York? Y'all seen them rats in New York? Them bitches like pit bulls, bro. Them bitches like pit bulls in New York. You feel me? Fuck the Black Plague at. That shit just mysteriously disappeared. Oh, don't no rats carry that shit no more? Y'all cured all the rats on Earth. Okay. Man, hell nah, bro. Folks be crazy, man. I better start listening. Hey, spiritual tribe, start listening to these people. Hey, sheep, stop listening to these people, man. It's propaganda and it's all bullshit. Folks can't kill us. Folks having a hard time killing us out today with new shit. And look, I'm gonna put default having a hard time killing us out, and we got the poorest diet. We ain't eating right. We ain't exercising like we doing it. We smoking and drinking and shit like that, and it's hard to kill us still. So you talking about ancient ancestors who didn't do none of that shit, and they ate right. They exercised thoroughly because niggas was always moving around and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Stress level was low, but they wiped it. Man, hell nah, bro. Get the fuck out of here. I just want to say next rant 30 minutes because that shit been puzzling me. And when you start reading these stories, you dissect these history books like niggas is dissecting this damn dissecting Bibles and shit. You gotta use that same train of thought, bro, and really use your discernment and use your logical thinking. And man, you gotta like, and for a lot of people, dog, you gotta really expand your vocabulary. Like when people's talking about etymology, man, fuck Webster Dictionary. Fuck that vocabulary shit they taught you in indoctrination boot camp, bro. Or sis. You know what I'm saying? Get that etymology. Etymology is literally the study of words. If you want to grow your vocabulary higher than what it is now, get study etymology. That is the root word of every single word that you use. This is why I can tell if a person is too nice. Like now, since I know that the word nice means ignorant, now I know that when I see a person that's too nice, and when you have a conversation with them, you'll hear how a lot of people been using them. Man, I've been getting used my whole life. I always give and give. Man, I got a good heart. I'm just so nice to people. Nice means ignorant. And ignorant just means you don't know, which means you didn't know these people was manipulating you. Yeah, you was very nice. See how that goes now? Since you know the word, you did. When you start learning the words of the word mourning, mourning means, death, dead, people, funeral, and all that shit. So why are you saying good morning when you waking up awake? After somebody died, you have a wake. In people are mourning at the wake, and you awake in the morning and tell people good morning, and then when you meet people, they say hello and hell low, as above, so below. Hello, you know what I'm saying? Hell, right, man. It's etymology, and when you tell people this stuff, they look at you crazy and shit. Like, man, y'all just be putting shit together. This is etymology. How you gonna call us crazy if you ain't never studied etymology before? That's crazy. That's what's crazy. Not the shit that I'm trying to teach you or tell you is crazy, but you calling what I'm saying crazy before you even dug into what I'm saying. That shit's insanity. That shit, whoo. You know what I'm saying? But let somebody tell you that Rihanna's pregnant though. You'll go research that shit all day long. Y'all, y'all will research that shit all day long. Y'all be looking for pictures and posts and everything. What look, man, this shit crazy. Shit crazy, dog. Shit crazy, man. For real. Etymology. Study of words. And once you really get fluent in study of words, a lot of words just start clicking to you. So easy. That's how I was able to connect the dots with Jamaica. 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 Where you from? Jamaica. 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 Christopher Columbus said the Garden of Eden was in the West Indies in North America, so it would make sense why Jamaica was part of the land of gods, which North America was called the land of soul, because that's where the melanated gods dwelled. Jamaica, right next to Yeti. You know what I'm saying? Christopher Columbus and all these people knew that. And if you go to Spain and go into the museum, they got this big ass book of his literal writings explaining the shit he seen. You can't get no factor than that. America's the real old world. And you are a real ancient being. You still here. Nobody dead. Nobody died out. That shit's indoctrinated bullshit. The Mayans are still here. The Incas is still here. Aztecs is still here. All the Indians is still here. Quote unquote Indians. I don't even like using that word now since I know that that was a derogatory term. But for layman's terms and for the sake of time and people, and everything like that. We just gonna say that though, the Indians is still here, copper colored ones. The red Indians still here, the olive Indians is still here, the copper colored Indians is still here, the tawny Indians are still here, the fair skinned Indians are we still here. We still here. The reason why they don't want to recognize us because they have to recognize the fact you gotta give us our shit back. Let's continue going though. Next rant 30 minutes. Let me catch up in the comments. Y'all know how I get. My bad. I see y'all down there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, make a root, most definitely. Vaccines. Rats are killing birds now, man. These things huge. We don't die, we multiply. We don't die, we multiply. Shit, we baby's kids. You feel me? We baby's kids. On bath salts, that was real. Nelson's dictionary. Smart means you slow, gullible. Yup. Smart means you gullible, slow. It means pain. Smart means pain. Like when you go to England and people want to speak that old English and thy thus must and all that. When they stomp their toe, they don't be like, ah, man, that hurt. They be like, ah, that smarts. It hurts. It's pain. Smart means pain. So this is why your smartphone, it gives you headaches and you don't even know it. Some days you be like, man, I got a headache. I don't know what the fuck wrong with me. That's your phone. That's that radiation. That's that frequency. You've been keeping your phone at your ear or in your pocket, close vicinities since you got that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Smartphone. This is your pain phone. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna bring you a lot of pain. We got your information, we got your location, we got your data, we got everything. Like, boy, that's painful as shit. They got your credit card numbers. Shout out to everybody who done linked their card up to Google Pay and Apple Pay and all that shit. They got your credit card number. They got all that. That wasn't so smart, was it? Painful, ain't it? Yeah, man. Gullible. Smartphone. It's your gullible phone. I'm laughing because I'm guilty with some of this shit. I ain't even gonna lie. One of my credit cards is hooked up to TikTok though, but you know what I'm saying? It's for business purposes, but it is what it is though. Gullible phone. Don't nobody read terms or conditions. So now, there were thousands upon thousands of melanated Indians who fought in the American Civil War and in wars before and after this war, who were melanated Indians or native to the Western Hemisphere region, but were oblivious to this fact. They only thought themselves to be Negroes. Their parents and their parents' parents, who had lost the knowledge of themselves, tribal identity, in all honesty, simply passed on to the next generation the colonized title of Negro to their children. Thus, an unbroken chain of ignorance continues to survive. Most Buffalo soldiers were melanated Indians, dispatched by the U.S. Army to assist in the colonizing and confiscation of other melanated Indian lands. West of the Mississippi River, reservation natives who don't know the true history and who are also brainwashed by images feel that the Buffalo soldiers, who are ill mistaken and ill classified as African Americans, help the paleface drive them off their lands and onto reservations. This last aspect of things, however, is true. In addition to this, one must keep in mind that most reservation natives are hybrid descendants of the true indigenous seed. Y'all are us. You feel me? Many melanated Indians who fought in the American Civil War either on Confederate side or the Union side were not acknowledged as being indigenous or native. They were acknowledged as being Negroes. Hmm, you don't say. He said most of the Navajo code talkers who were used to assist the U.S. government in World War II were blue black Indians. The photo and film footage of the melanated Navajo who participated in this war were carved out of history. But I'm pretty sure that we can find that now in the age of technology if we do some hard digging. Sherlock Homeboy is on the agenda. You feel me? Flip this page real quick. See what y'all talking. I literally have a constant ringing in both ears. My left ear ringing too. I don't use buds and keep my phone on speaker, man. Look, I'm trying to tell you. Only son would have said the truth, and Israel will be every race. He knows his people, most definitely. He said Jamaica is like the Garden of Eden. Uh-huh. Etymology is a lot easier to do with the internet. My mom did it pre-internet. Hey, Tigers. Hey, your mama was a soldier. She did etymology pre-internet. Boy, that was a lot of books she had to study. Your mama a soldier. Bro, I never keep my phone close to my body. I'm always holding it in my hand away from my head. Hey, I'm trying to tell you. You addictive. I appreciate it. The Buffalo Soldiers were tricked. They didn't go fight willingly. They most definitely was tricked. Elite staging. Yup, they most definitely was tricked. Yeah, how did they get us to do all of this? How did they become in possession of us? And how did they? I never. Uh-huh. Yeah, twice. So now here we go. So Queen Latifah, the rapper and actress, is a melanated Indian, and she also will tell you most melanated Indians today refuse to accept that they're indigenous because they have fallen victim to the spell of fake images. If their hair isn't straight or curly or their cheekbones not high, neither their eyes slanted or shaped and their skin light or reddish hue, they just simply decide that they're black from Africa. I don't mean to laugh, man. I don't mean to laugh, dog. I don't mean to laugh, man. But when you listen to the evidence that most people are going off of, oh, bro, I'm just black. That's what makes you African. Yeah, man. That's what you're going off of. You black, so you from that's where you. Okay, bro. If anything, like I said on Plenty Lives and Other Lives, dog. And I'm gonna keep saying it because I stand behind this. Look, y'all been rocking with me since last year on this book, on this page, lives and videos. We done read and thumbed through over 200 books. You feel me? And if anything, bro, you are from Ireland, you are from Spain, you are from Italy, Portugal, you are Greek, Greece, Roman, bro. You Cape Verde. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give the westernmost part of Africa. I give you the westernmost part of Africa. But when you start going eastward with the Africa, that's when you start losing me a little bit because, like I said, man, hey, I'm not here to tell you your bloodline. Maybe you know something that I don't know. Like I said, that all skin folk was kinfolk. They shipped everybody over here eventually. Um, you might be from that easternmost part of Africa. You might be from Ham. You know what I'm saying? You might be one of those, but dog, that's highly unlikely though, because the eastern part of Africa got sent to the Pacific side of things, from to Asia and Southeast Asia. They move. See, picture this shit. They took the original people of Asia and Southeast Asia and they moved them and they brought the East Africans and brought them over here while the Anglo-Saxons came down here and did what they did, and everybody just kept moving on over this way. And then you got the western part of Africa with Cape Verde, Morocco, Mali, and all the way down to South Africa and all that type of stuff, North Africa and stuff. They was going westward to America and the West Indies, and they was going upward like that. They was going over here like that, and while they was going over here, a lot of our ancestors was coming over here. So a lot of the Africans that you think are Africans, hell no. This is why I say that when they show you pictures of Africans that look like us, literally, they're not who you think they are, bro. They not who you think they. I mean, it's Africans that look like us, of course, because if you know the history of the American Indians, the melanated American Indians that got sent to Cape Verde in the westernmost part of Africa, then you understand. Then what do you think happened to those American Indians? And this is what they did too. They took the men and shipped them off, and they kept the woman because when you breed with the woman, that's how women are so dope. And through the woman, they got the blood ties. You feel me? So and they sent the American Indian men over there and made them mate with the African women and stuff like that, and then you create a whole nother hybrid offspring and stuff. But man, how they did the breeding farms of things, man, we're gonna touch on the breeding farms because a lot of people don't know about the breeding farms that was going on back then when the Anglo-Saxons fully got control of everything, and and everything was got to going. Man, they did those breeding farms so crazy, man. So you can tell a pure African and you can tell a hybrid African. You can tell a pure American Indian and you can tell a hybrid American Indian. You feel me? You just have to look. Phenotype plays a part in it, but you have to look. When I say you have to look with your eyes, you have to look with your eyes because you have to us American Indians, we have a different type of bop, a different type of vibe that we handle with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something about our aura, our energy is just different. We just with it. Now, pure African, stiff necks. See, I don't like when people call us the stiff neck because my neck loose than the motherfucker, bro. I ain't no stiff neck. You did. I'm right here with it. But I admit, when you talk about them pure Africans, though, they stiff necked with it. They tense. They just, I don't know. It's like they just tense the fuck up. You be like, bro, relax, nigga. You like, just let your shoulders down, bro. Just chill, breathe, bro. They just tense with shit. Like, relax. Their energy is, it's hard to explain, but we can tell each other apart. Like everybody else outside of African and American Indians can't tell us. We can tell each other apart. We can look 10 miles down the street and be like, that's an African. And they can look 10 miles down the street and be like, that's an American 1828 definition, Webster, copper color. You feel me? We can literally, we can do that. And that's how phenotype plays a part, but it don't really play a part for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something about you that I recognize that we different. And that's all it is, man. But we're gonna keep it rolling. Let me catch up in the comments. Shout out to everybody who's in the live vibing right now. It says super ghetto. That was barbaric breeding farms. Man, look, people don't know. He said, no, you didn't. Oh, y'all crazy. We are the chosen. Few Moors, mirrors, Moabites, and Carthage to marry. I always felt like I'm from royalty. You more likely are. A lot of us are from royal. A lot of us come from royalty. Them ancient royal bloodlines. we came from them. Them people that y'all see right now, them people that y'all see right now that's on them thrones in them different countries like England and Dutch and Spain and all that, them ain't the real people. Them counterfeits. They them identity frauds. Them ain't it. The real original people were melanated and they got shipped the fuck over here. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us are the descendants and offsprings of those real people. And this is why another reason why them folks don't want to cough up those ancestral documents that they found in their attics and basements and shit like that. And this is why the museum is telling them to give us the documents. Don't give it to them, but give us the documents because they know what's up. They know what's up. They know what's up for real. So, man, look. And when you talk about the high cheekbones, I'm gonna be real. If you want to talk about high cheekbones, a lot of us got high cheekbones. See, a lot of us got high cheekbones. Y'all looking at me right now, my cheekbones high as shit. My tattoo is on my cheekbone. This is my cheekbone. This shit by my eye right here. That motherfucker high as hell. He's on my cheekbones right here. High as shit. All in the eyes. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Your hair, when they call it nappy, your hair is curly. So when you dodge the hijack, if their hair isn't straight or curly, bro, your hair is curly. This is why it springs like this. Your hair is curly as fuck. See, you got to get that whole nappy shit about your head. Ain't shit nappy about your head. You got the authentic curls. Your shit bounce naturally. We don't need no chemicals. We don't need none of that shit. You wake up and your hair is automatically curly. These people got put heat and what's that shit? Head and shoulders and shit in they head to get the curly bounce and all that, man. We wake up, our shit is like that. We come out the womb, our hair is already curly and shit like that. Ain't shit nappy about your head. And I hate that word. And I hate when people call themselves nappy and their heads nappy and shit like that. When people call themselves nappy head or call other people nappy head or say you got nappy, bro, you automatically turn Anglo-Saxon in my eyes. Like your whole skin complexion just went pale to me. I'm like, mm, mm-hmm. Yeah, you an agent, huh? Yeah, you an agent. I can't do it because ain't shit. Melanated people, you have the strongest hair on the face of this earth. You got the shiniest, curliest, strongest, ether 9 carbon hair. Your hair is the purest source of melanin. If you want to know what melanin look like, go look in the mirror. Your hair is pure melanin coming out of your skull. Ain't shit nappy or bad about your head. And I love when sisters wear natural hair, man. For real. That natural shit. You gotta love yourself. So now 61. Most melanated Indians of the Western Hemisphere who are falsely labeled as African Americans, who are falsely labeled as African Americans, who are falsely labeled as African Americans or Black Americans, fought for their civil rights during the 1940s through the 1960s. Shout out Martin Luther King, Indian civil rights. Y'all go look that up. They were not known as melanated Indians or being indigenous. Some knew. Shout out to Martin Luther King. He said that they were still in our land and farms. Shout out to Malcolm X when he came back from Mecca and he changed from a civil rights activist to a human rights activist because he learned about Moors, Morocco. He learned about America's the real old world. This is why he came back. El Shabazz Bay, like that's a more name, you feel me? He came back on some whole other shit, you did, and that's what really made him dangerous. And then when him and Martin Luther King got together, oh Martin Luther King, you heard they reclassified us. Yeah, bro, I just found that shit. They reclassified us too, man. We sitting here talking about black this, black we American Indians, nigga. Man, what you trying to do? You trying to link up? We on some other shit. Martin Luther King became a human activist. Malcolm X became a human activist because it ain't about civil rights. You are a natural being. You are the original human. So now it's about human rights. You feel me? Because you got natural rights to this earth. They clicked up, they linked up, and ooh, what did the CIA document that I showed y'all on the other line say? That, man, if Martin Luther King ever dropped that passive mentality and him and Malcolm X ever was to link up, they would be the most dangerous people together. We got to keep them away from each other. When they link up, they will be the most dangerous people together. We got to keep them away from each other. When they met, that's what sealed their fate. Everybody think that Martin Luther King fate got sealed when he was doing the march and his "I Have a Dream" speech. His fate was sealed when he woke up to the bullshit. Malcolm X fate was sealed when he woke up to the bull. It ain't had nothing to do with the Nation of Islam. They used the Nation of Islam, but it ain't had shit to do with the Nation of Islam and what he was talking about. No shit like that. It was about he woke up. Plymouth Rock ain't landing on. We ain't landing on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Plymouth Rock. Plymouth is a boat ship of the Sephardic Jews and the Moors that came over here. They landed on us. They landed in the northern regions of Turtle Island. You feel me? Shout out to ODB. So now, so Negro Civil Rights Movement, aka Black Indian Civil Rights Movement. There you go. Number 62. Most interstate highways and roads in what is now known as the United States of America used to be at one time melanated Indian trails and pathways that led to other melanated Indian towns and melanated Indian cities. The paths were widened and laced with concrete and renamed as interstate highways by the Pale One. Number 63. Most cities and towns today in what is now known as the United States of America sit on top of ancient melanated Indian cities and towns that were there first. Shout out to Oscarville. Shout out to the Black Wall Street. Shout out to every single other melanated community that was flooded and our ancestors was chased and beat and lynched from these cities and a lot of these ghost towns that's up for sale that we can buy again as a community again. You know what I'm saying? We all pull our resources together and stuff like that. We can have our own gated community, but that's a whole nother life for a whole different day. But a lot of those ghost towns, American Indians, those are ancestors stomping ground and they spirits still dwell there. They waiting on us. So shout out to that. And people don't know about Oscarville, Georgia. Oscarville, Georgia, man, it was a prominent melanated community of melanated Indians and red Indians and tawny Indians and Sephardic Jews and Sephardic Moors. What happened was the fair-skinned people, the Anglo-Saxons, you know how they do. They came and wanted the lands, and like anybody that come and wanted the lands, they came with hatred, they came with violence. They came there, started lynching our peoples. They started lying on our people, saying that they was raping they Anglo-Saxon women, and and they just started lynching everybody and chased everybody outside of the town. And once that town pretty much got a little bit depopulated and everybody who stayed in Falls, they were flooded and killed and drowned inside that city. In Oscarville, Georgia, now that city is what you call Lake Lanier, Georgia now. And everybody goes to Lake Lanier and goes swimming and jumping in the water, and they don't even know that they're jumping into a water, and at the bottom of that water is a whole town and bones and skeletons and ghost towns of melanated ancestors. That's why people keep coming up missing when you go swimming in Lake Lanier. Y'all better stay out of that water. This is from a Georgia native. We don't even jump in that water. That's crazy. Georgia people don't even jump in that water. We be sitting back watching everybody else jump in that motherfucker like, shit, alright. Alright. We don't even jump in that motherfucker. Hell no. But that's what it is. And a lot of these places like Lake Lanier and a lot of these lakes are man-made, and a lot of these lakes are put on top of melanated cities and towns. Lakes are man-made. The reason why you ain't got no history is because they flooded it. It's at the bottom of the lakes. So, yeah. In most cities and towns in what is now known as the United States of America, there remains hundreds of thousands of melanated Indians buried under the concrete as a result of casualties to war. Your ancestors, my ancestors, are buried under these interstates. Crazy, huh? Your history, our culture is under these interstates in concrete places. See, it's always man. I don't care. I'm gonna make people mad, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this. It's always been about you. You looking at me. You. It's always been about you. It's always been about me. It's been about your genes. It's been about your bloodline. It's been about who you are, where you come from, and why it's impossible to exterminate you. It's always been about you. And people get mad when we say that it's always about y'all, huh? It is. It is. You know it is. That's why you feel like that when you say it. It is. We the only ones written out of history. A lot of our history is under the interstates. A lot of our burial mounds, a lot of our ancestors, a lot of our ancient things is under these interstates that we driving on. These lakes that we go take our kids to is at the bottom of the lakes. You know, it's in the Vatican basement, Smithsonian. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit is in Portugal, Portuguese. They took everything that links us to who we are. They took that shit overseas and they flooded that shit. They had to get rid of all evidence as much as possible. So even when we bring information, when they be like, where the proof is the artifacts and the burial grounds and everything like that. See, that's why they did that. So now when we bring, oh, this is who we are. Well, where's the proof? Y'all ain't got no proof. That's because y'all fucking buried the shit and sent it over there and y'all dig up mummies and won't test our blood with the mummies and stuff. Y'all want us to swab and send a DNA test to y'all and nah man, fuck that. Bring a mummy over here to my crib, take my DNA, take his DNA, send that bitch to a lab with me present, and we both gonna look at these DNA results and that's how we gonna get that shit done like that. You know what I'm saying? You can take, the mummies in over there in Africa, Egypt, the mummies over here in Peru, the mummies in other whichever mummies y'all want to dig up, man, test our DNA. I guarantee that bitch a hit. I guarantee that shit a hit. Go on, bring up y'all shoe that's inside the Vatican basement because we know that's where y'all got them at. Quit playing with us. We ain't that slow, you feel me? We very woke. Go on, bring them up here real quick, and I bet you won't test none of our DNA with that. Bet you. I bet you they won't. You know what I'm saying? See, when it comes to us melanated folks, it's all just he say, she say, hearsay when it comes to these people and shit, but they don't never want to test our DNA with no real shit. They'll test everybody else's DNA with something. They don't never want to test ours. Oh, it's a ghost gene. We don't know. Y'all know. Y'all know what's up. Quit playing with us. Y'all know what's up. Shout out to everybody who's still here. Shout out to all the likes and all the gifts and everybody who's interacting. Let me catch up in these comments real quick. My cheekbones are hella high. I'm trying to tell you. It's head and shoulders. For real though. Mummies in America made a video about that. I'm gonna check it out, these truths, right after this live. So I just want you to know you have very pretty teeth and a smile. Thank you so much for that compliment. you know, Thank you for that compliment. Baking soda, it does wonders. For real. All my people, you don't need that. Hey, look, quick drop. Stop using that toothpaste. You don't need that toothpaste. You don't need that fluoride. You don't need that Colgate. You don't need none of that shit. You don't need that Crest extra whitening. Y'all don't need none of that shit. Throw that shit in the trash. Go get you some baking soda. Man, my grandmama, man, my family been brushing our teeth with baking soda for years. Baking soda. Get that shit. That's it. Baking soda and spring water. I don't even use the tap water. I get the little spring water. I ain't gonna sit here in front like that. I use tap water sometime when I run out of my spring water bottles. But when I do got my spring water bottles, the case and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? You dip it inside the little tube. You know, you take your toothpaste, you dip it inside the bottle, get it nice and wet. Dip it inside the baking soda and get to getting it. You did. Boom. You don't even need no Listerine or none of that shit. Witch hazel. Gargle with witch hazel. Witch hazel is good. Witch hazel get all the germs, get the bacteria. You know, it helps cleanse your teeth and all that type of stuff. You know, if you got a toothache, gargle with witch hazel. Boom. You don't need that oral gel. Stay away from that shit. Get you some witch hazel. It'll numb it up real quick. What else is and if you do get toothpaste, get something with seaweed in it or charcoal. Get charcoal or seaweed in it. And yeah, hey, wonders. Wonders. Just had to drop that real quick because the dentists know that this fluoride toothpaste is decaying people teeth. They know that shit. Anything with fluoride, it decays your teeth. They would never test those mummies. They would continue with the West Africa, but I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, they shadow banning me. Hey, they most definitely shadow banning you, D's true, cause I ain't even you haven't popped up on my For You page in a while. I literally have to go to your page. I'm curious too. What's in my DNA? Just hope it ain't no Caucasian. I'm dead. Tom's toothpaste. That's what it's called. I'm glad you said Tom's toothpaste. That's what it's called. They got that seaweed in it and charcoal. They got charcoal Tom's toothpaste and they got seaweed too. That's a good brand. Yeah, put y'all up on game. I'm trying to tell you. Stay away from that fluoride. That shit rotting your teeth. So now where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Okay, here we go. Shout out to St. Louis. We taking it to St. Louis. Oh yeah, we definitely taking it to St. Louis. Shout out to my Chicago trip. You feel me? We will most definitely still be going to those Indian mounds, and we would most definitely be in St. Louis checking out the arcs and everything like that. So shout out to my St. Louis, Missouri people, real quick. I got people out there. Well, my granddaddy always told me I got family out in Missouri, but I never really met them. He said we got a lot of family out there in St. Louis. I never met them. I wish I knew them, you know what I'm saying? Because it'll be dope just to meet some more family. But my granddaddy side of the family is they not they weren't really close like that. So, but you know, I might do my research and come across some people out there in St. Louis who I'm related to and stuff like that. But shout out to St. Louis, man. Hey, family roots go deep. I'm trying to tell you. So St. Louis, Missouri used to be a black Indian city called Cahokia. Cahokia at one time was the largest city north of Mexico, and at one time one of the largest cities in the world, outranking most cities in Europe. That's the Indian mounds I'm going to. That's the Indian mounds I'm going to. We in there. We in there. That's Indian. And I will most definitely be going live, and I will set the live event. So we all gonna be in that thing. I'm gonna pull up the book. We gonna read about them. Since we know that they melanated Indians, we're gonna read up on our ancestors, and I'm gonna show y'all the mounds and everything like that where did their little rituals and stuff at. We really gonna get connected and shit. I might end up meditating on one of the mounds one time and seeing what happens. Might start glowing out that thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't know. But that was one of the largest cities in the world, though, outranking most cities in Europe. Y'all know the map is a lie, right? Oh man, ain't none of these continents the same size or the size that they tell you, man. And think about now, with that being said, think about how big America really is. See, you ain't really seen America from a sky view for real, for real. Think about how big America is, man. It's one of the largest cities in the world. It was one of the largest cities in the world. The world. The world. My right ear ringing right now. Come on, man. Outranking most cities in Europe. In St. Louis. Outranking most cities in Europe. How big is St. Louis for real? Y'all know a lot of these border lines that they show y'all on these maps ain't really real, right? These are imaginary lines. Like in past lives, I told y'all how a long time ago, Florida was not the Florida that you seen today. Florida was all of the southeast states that we see today. Florida back then was called La Florida. It was present day Florida, it was Georgia, it was South Carolina, it was North Carolina, it was Tennessee, it was Alabama, it was Mississippi, it was Texas, it was Louisiana, and it was what's another one? I'm missing a southern state. Am I missing a southern state? Oklahoma, Arkansas? Nah, it was those. It was those. The southeastern states was Florida. It was called Little Florida, aka Tamari, aka Egypt, what we just said earlier on the live. Florida was called Tamari, and it was also one of the Indias. So now you know that all of those land masses made up Florida back in the day, and they also called Florida India, while that was called Hindustan. So now y'all know Indians, India, the Southern Negro are undoubtedly Indian. So So now when you talk about St. Louis, Missouri, if all of that made Florida, what was St. Louis then? If in order for that to be the largest city in the world and outnumbering or outranking most cities in Europe, how big is the original St. Louis, Missouri then? That's the question. Because I'm operating on ancient times. I don't go by these colonized government lines, these imaginary lines. I don't know what the fuck Canada is. That's America to me. I'm just being real. I don't know what the fuck that imaginary borderline of Mexico is. That's America to me too. Them folks is just as North American as any one of us. So I don't know what they talking about, aliens and all that shit, but we on the same land. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And we know that California was part of Mexico, so I'm just trying to figure out where St. Louis, Missouri fit in at this thing. If we huge like that, that means we was bigger than the Mexico territories, which stretched all the way to California, and all of that. So, ooh, that's deep. Put a pin in that. We gonna talk more on them when I hit the mounds, and we gonna see this shit. So now, melanated Indians did not use paths and trails as a mean of transportation on the surface, but also used the underground cave tunnel system, underground railroad. Shout out to Harriet Tubman, who was an American Indian, but her real name was not American. Was not Harriet Tubman. Her last name was not Tubman. Her name was something else. But you know, I ain't gonna I ain't gonna do that. Shout out to Dane Calloway. Y'all go check out his YouTube channel if y'all want to learn more about Harriet Tubman and the Nat Turner story and all of that. So that's a gem. Go check out the brother like that. I'm gonna leave that type of material for him because he can elaborate deeper than I can. So and he got all type of paperwork on that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let's see what y'all talking about. Practice oil pulling too, yeah. It was bigger than people think, man. They tore a lot up. The Mississippi has over 67 dams. Ah, yeah, they flooded a lot of stuff with that. Dad lives in St. Louis, and my sister lives in Chicago. I might see you, fam. You might see me out there. I'm most definitely down for linking with anybody as long as you cool. You know what I'm saying? All I know is I've been on TikTok for 5 months and I've learned a lot. Hey, I'm glad. I'm glad I can I'm glad TikTok is a platform where you can learn. I'm glad that you tuning in and checking in to me too. You know, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Dope lives, dope videos, you know what I'm saying? All type of stuff. So, hmm it's probably a giant pyramid by the river and that a mountain. Hey, there you go. Hey. Look up Bro Sanchez on YouTube too. Yeah, Bro Sanchez be going in. I caught a few of his. Split this page. Hold on. I want to go back real quick. It's this thing at the bottom I wanted to catch. Hopefully I can see it. So, fact number 8. Check this out. Fact number 8. Games such as basketball, soccer, and lacrosse originated from the Melanated Indians of the Western Hemisphere. Y'all hold on real quick. All right, sorry, folks. Had to use that restroom, man. You feel me? We be on here chopping it up. You did? Hey. So, man, look. The Melanated Indian created basketball, soccer, lacrosse. We did hockey. We created all these things. Yes, y'all didn't know that? Man, we created hockey. We created hockey. Now you know why they don't like when we get in hockey. Now you know why when we get into sports we dominate. That's because we created it. That's why we created it. Who dominate basketball to this day? American Indians, aka African Americans. Who dominate football? Come on, man. Soccer? Who dominates soccer? Man, come on, man. You gotta remember Latinos, American Indians. You feel me? Baseball, Latinos, American Indians, and us, American Indians. You know, shout out to the Negro League Baseball League. You know what I'm saying? The Negro League Baseball League was a league for melanated Indians. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my great great granddaddy Solomon Dooley. You know, he owned one of the melanated Negro League baseball teams. I got a picture somewhere on my phone, but he actually owned one in St. Louis. See, I got pictures of all my family from St. Louis, but I ain't never met them. Like, man, they own Negro League baseball teams. They was prominent jazz musician and blues musicians. Like niggas own I didn't even say niggas, but you know they own dozens of gas stations and land and all type of stuff out there. Y'all know what happened to it. Y'all know what happened to it. So man, so we created a lot of these sports and we take over in a lot of these sports. That's because it's in your genes, it's in your DNA. This is another reason how I know that we not African, bro. Show me an African who can beat one of us in basketball. When it comes to basketball, they are not coordinated. I'm not even talking shit. I'm not even talking shit, or I'm not even dissing nobody. I'm being for real. This is like real. This is like real, like analyzation that I've done just watching them, bro. Like they're not coordinated. Like they're not athletic or coordinated like how we are. You know what I'm saying? They good for long distance running and shit like that. But when it comes to that agile basketball, all that type of, nah, man, ain't none of that. Ain't none of that, man. Show me one who can beat us in basketball. Show me one who can beat us in football. Soccer, you might get us a run for our money because they play soccer. Baseball, golf, hockey. Come on, man. Show me one who can run faster than Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt, Jamaican. He American Indian, Maroon, Tiano. Come on, man. We do this. American Indians, we're fast. We're sprinters. Africans are long distance runners. You know what I'm saying? That's some of that's the differences that you can tell. Another way that you can tell us apart is the way our body is made. See, this is why I say that you can tell phenotypically, but you can't really go off of it. But the phenotypical that you can tell is the way our bodies is designed. American Indian men, we come out of our mothers naturally toned and ripped and slightly buffed and shit. Africans are naturally skinny. And that ain't got nothing to do with, oh, it's the food source and they come from a poorer country. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's climate and region and genetics and all of this stuff. They're more slimmer, long distance runners. Heat, always sweating and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like slimmer. American Indians, 4 seasons, summer, spring, winter, fall. Our skin tone changes with the season. Summertime we get darker, wintertime we get lighter, springtime and fall, we mellow out, you feel me, like that. We need more body mass when you're dealing with seasons like this. We are naturally toned, we are naturally built. Our facial structure is naturally toned, naturally built. You know what I'm saying? Strong face ass folk. Yeah, we strong face ass people. You know what I'm saying? We strong face ass people. You did, you know, bodies tone, neck, even to the smoothness and the hue of the skin tone is different. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot, but American Indians and Africans, we know what's up. I mean, we know we still brothers, cousins, distant cousins or whatever, but we know what's up though. It's just good to have your own identity. That's all I'm saying. But that ain't taking nothing from our brothers and sisters or cousins across the ocean. They got some dope ass little sports and stuff too. Like they did a whole lot of amazing stuff. So when I'm talking about American Indians and our ancestors and stuff like that, so don't feel no type of way because I'm 32 years old, man. Well, I'm about to be 32 years old, and for a great portion of my life, all I've been hearing about is African stuff. Even when my grandmama told me I'm American Indian, and I still got sent to school hearing African stuff, I wanted to hear American Indian stuff. So now I'm finding American Indian stuff, and this is what it is. Shit, you know. So it is what it is. But man, so our brothers and sisters and cousins across the waters, they did amazing stuff. They did amazing empires. They had some good rebellions and all that type of stuff like that. But let's focus over here on these lands right now, because this is where we at. Our people thrived in these lands. We created sports on these lands. We created inventions on this land. We created everything on this land. It's a slap in my grandmama's face to be looking overseas after she done told me what it is. It's a slap on her face. So, you know, when people find out that we created basketball and it got hijacked, and old dude who did that little peach basket or whatever wasn't the real originator, man, people lose their mind. People will lose their mind. Let me catch up real quick. Right, I asked my grandmother, "How are we from Africa? If you're Cherokee." He said they can't. Hold on, y'all. Let me catch up real quick. Yep, I remember the Jamaican bobsled team went to Olympics. Yup. We hold more power than we know Atlantis is now in the earth. Yup. Said that's how we do it. And we have zero ice in Jamaica. Right. That's the crazy thing about that Jamaican team that went to the Olympics from that bobsledding. Ain't even no damn snow or ice in Jamaica. These just natural. Just natural, man. Unison, in sync. Read the bottom. Transportation. That's what it said. Transportation. Yeah, see? And what have we already established about the transportation? The motor in the car. We created the motor in the car. If it wasn't for us, there would be no car. You need a motor to move the frame. So, we did all of that. We been here longer. That's why I say it's man, shit crazy. They can't beat us. Mm-mm. We fluid and they too still for basketball, man. Look, show me what they could say. It give you chills up your spine like our sisters. That's hey, look. It's only a few. It's only a few of them, but yeah, that's true. Hmm. Yeah, our body weight do fluctuate with the seasons as well. We like Memorex. We are regal. Mm-hmm. Apocalypto. Yep. I love that movie Apocalypto, man. Now just throw melanated people in your mind when you watch it, because that's exactly what it is. I was born in California. I learned all about Native Americans. We moved to Ohio. It was crickets. Yeah, I most definitely believe you. In certain spots of America, you only get taught certain stuff about American Indians. You are very knowledgeable, and I appreciate the info. My eyes are extremely dry. What can I put it on? Hmm. Okay, let's flip this page real quick. All right, so now let's go. We almost there, y'all. We almost there. So now, number 73. Hold on. Yeah, number 73. We're gonna try and read this one real quick. As soon as this banner move, it just slid in my way. So it says many melanated Indian chiefs were put on annual salaries by different Europeans throughout the 16, 17, and 1800s. European nations such as France, Britain, Spain, Portugal, and the Dutch Netherlands paid melanated Indian chiefs of the Western Hemisphere a salary for their support in the slave markets. Not all skin folk is your kinfolk. And the currency on thundersticks, which was your guns, and what and trips to Europe. I got this banner in my way. I hope that's what it said. So now we're gonna go down to 74. Many melanated Indian chiefs were also put on European annual salaries to provide military support for various European nations. European annual salaries were established depending on who you sign treaties with or align yourself with. Treaties, huh? It was a lot of treaties being signed back then. I'm just saying. Many melanated Indian warriors, both female and male, became hired privateers or pirates for various European nations during the 15th through the 18th century. Huh. That's a long time. Pirates? Huh. That's a long time to be pirate. From the 15th to the 18th century. The 15th century is the 1400s. The 18th century is the 1700s. Huh. Ooh, shit. We are those thugs. These truths, you feel me? Oh man. In Georgia, they teach Georgia history mandatory class in seventh grade, seventh and eighth grade. Yup. We had to take that. I know what you're talking about. So it said, known as warriors on water or thugs on water, these melanated Indian warriors were paid salaries to harass, rob, and shake down cargo ships for various European nations, depending on who they contracted with. My brothers and sisters is always doing some illegal shit, man. I'm willing to bet you that when they hired the melanated Indians to be thugs on water, I bet you they hired the kids, the youngins. Cause I mean, let's be for real. When you fast forward today, it's the youngins who's doing this thug shit today. Back when we was growing up, 1990s babies in the early 2000s, we was we was surrounded with the young thug niggas who were doing thug shit. In the 80s and 70s, it's always young niggas who's doing it. I'm trying to get the N word out my vocabulary, but it's hard. But it was always young folks doing it. You did so. Like I say, the young folks are our warriors. They just are misguided. Like these were at one point in time. I told you nothing new under the sun. Our warriors are misguided today, and these warriors was misguided back in those days. So now, this of course also depended on which European nation their nation formed treaties with. So you got some melanated Indians who formed treaties with the French, dodged the hijack with the Anglo-Saxons because French are also Huguenots who are also Moors. So you got to think about that. They formed treaty. So when you know about that treaty and everything and the intermarried, now you understand where the Arcadians and the Huguenots and the Cajuns and the Creole come in at. Then they had treaties with the Dutch, dodged the hijack with some of the Anglo-Saxons because some of those was also Moors and Marranos and Sephardic Jews and Moors too. So and those Dutch in turn went to the West Indies. Shout out to Jamaica because patois, which is the Jamaican form of Creole, they have Dutch in their Creole is everything. Their Creole is Dutch, is Portuguese, is Spanish, it's French, it's English. Jamaican got all of that inside their form of Creole, which is called patois. You did. Um, and then of course you got British and Britain, and all those other colonies like that. So yeah, so depending on who you signed your treaty with. Is it true? He reasoned that Indians don't rebel or stand with us is because they were paid reparations. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hey, these truth videos do be lit, bro. He be ragging on them. Dawg. He be ragging on them. It's like, for real. I be hitting on them motherfucker. Hey, I be at work rolling. For real. Nickelbacks. Yep. Mm-hmm. Gangsters of the Sea. Most definitely. So now, here we go. So now, 76. Some melanated Indian warriors did not honor their nation's alliance with European powers and left their own nations and became freelance privateers or pirates. They decided to work or contract for whomever. Some even pirateered for themselves. That's your rebels. Those who just don't care. We looking out for ourselves. Which at this point in time, man, I don't blame them, dog. Like you got one nation side with the enemy, the other nations is side with the enemies, and those of us who these folks are probably star seeds. these folks, these was probably the star seeds. It was like, bro, you know what, man, I ain't fucking with the government, bro. I don't know what y'all on. We just gonna go ahead and do our own thing. You did, and we hope to see y'all when we see y'all. Like, these probably the star seeds. I'm trying to tell you, just work for themselves. So many melanated Indians went to Europe to receive pale skin education. Let me read that again. Many melanated Indians went to Europe to receive pale skin education, indoctrination. Hmm. Shout out to Marcus Garvey, who went to Europe to get a pale skin education, who said he was Jamaican but ended up getting buried in London, who kicked it with Walter Plecker and other Anglo-Saxons clubs of America, KKK folk, you know what I'm saying? Like folks like to look, man, you cannot defend this man. If you my homeboy and I come outside and I see you kicking it with the KKK, bro, I'm not fucking with you. I don't want to hear nothing about me. He was an agent, dog. He was behind the scenes and not man for all that. I ain't trying to hear none of that. Nope. Uh-uh. These folks bailed Marcus Garvey out of jail, bro. That ain't no behind the scenes undercover shit, bro. Bro, at that time in the early 1900s with Marcus Garvey and them folks, ain't no white folks bailing you out of jail unless you working for these folks, bro. They don't like you unless they can use you. Come on, man. How else do you sell your soul to the devil? The devil come in your worst time. His worst time was in jail. These folks came. He sold that. Boom, back. That was that. Send all the melanated people to Africa for no damn reason, even though they're American Indians. Okay. Gotcha. Clear as day. So now, number 78, many melanated Indians not only attended pale skin colleges and universities, but also enrolled in pale skin military schools where they learned pale skin warfare and taught pale skin their own methods of warfare. Not all skin folk are your kinfolk. Keep telling you. Yes, man, we got a dark past, but it has to be known. Said that last video D's put out with the wild man eating that raw cow heart. Hey, that motherfucker was lit. He had the whole family eating that. Said they just be a deal. Yup. Immediately know. I enjoy your live. You should go. You should go check out this man back home name Matubuka. Huh. Okay. I'll check that out. Let me screenshot that. I screenshotted that. I'll most definitely check him out. He said, "That's not what happened. Garvey didn't trade her. Catch you later." It was nice having you on the live. So, pale means black. It does, but not in these times. Pale meant black way back, like in medieval times and stuff like that. Around this time, this is when they start introducing the terms black and white and mulatto and stuff like that. So now, many melanated Indians who became thoroughly indoctrinated into European lifestyle took on European names and European titles, such as military officers, clergymen, interpreters, and just plain businessmen. Many melanated Indians who became indoctrinated into European lifestyle, in fact, moved to different European countries such as Spain, England, France, and Portugal, denounced their own nationality, and became citizens of these European countries. Self hate come in different forms when you being taught by the oppressor. It's the block game. Nah, I ain't gonna block. I ain't gonna block that one. I ain't gonna block her. She'll be back. A lot of folks don't like when I talk about Marcus Garvey and shit, but she gonna go do her research now. That's what's gonna happen. She gonna go do her research and she's gonna come back hopefully in the near future if she can digest what she researched and it'll happen. A lot of folks come back around after we didn't give them some gems on this live who didn't quite agree, but a lot of them they come back around. But if they don't, may peace be upon them. You feel me? But it is true. Dude was a pure traitor, man. So, I'm back. What I miss? You miss. I ain't gonna lie, you miss a nice little bit of stuff. We bring it on in though. So now, number eight, number 87. Melanated Indians lived and thrived in the Western Hemisphere during the times of the Ice Age. Melanated Indians lived and thrived in the Western Hemisphere during the times of the Ice Age. They occupied the regions of what is now known as Southern North America, Southeast, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Louisiana, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, you know what I'm saying, little parts of Virginia, stuff like that too. Mexico, Central and South America, down by the equator where it's hot and warm. Huge monolith stone heads have been unearthed in the Mexico region. This ancient culture has come to be known as the Olmec people. Past and present archaeologists and anthropologists both agree that the Olmec represent not only one of the oldest cultures found in the Western Hemisphere, but also agreed that the Olmec represent the mother culture of the Aztec, Inca, and Mayan civilizations. Come on, man. Come on. We ain't doing no eraser. We just be dropping facts, man. If the Olmecs came before the Mayans and the Aztec and the Incas, the Olmecs is the mother culture. How can the Mayans, the Incas, and the Aztecs, who are American Indians, come from the Olmecs, but y'all say the Olmecs are African? How do you get American Indians, Aboriginals of this plane from that? You can't. The Olmecs had to be American Indians, which is the one of the oldest American Indian civilizations over here. Gave birth to the Aztecs, the Mayans, and the Incas. Feel me? That's what happened. And self-hate isn't just for the melanated community, but well, the darker melanated community. But self-hate goes all the way to those who be screaming erasure when we be dropping gems. When it's not, man, like, why do you hate that we are the same people? Who, like Malcolm X said, who told you to hate yourself? Because when I see you, I see my brother, I see my sister, I see my American Indian, I see my people when I see you. And when you see me, I be hoping that you see the same thing because we the same people. But the thing that people see first is the skin tone. They don't even care about the genealogy. They don't care about the history. They don't care about the facts. They don't care about none of that. Only thing they care about is what the indoctrinated government schools taught them about them. And it was wrong. It's completely wrong. Just like it was completely wrong on our end. It was completely wrong on they had to do this division amongst us because we are the same people. You know what I'm saying? Only thing changed was the skin tone, and that's even questionable because melanin comes in different shades of hue. So with that being said, they ain't white nobody out for real. Not for real. Not for real, for real. It come in different tones, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a pale Mexican before. I've seen a tanned Mexican. You know what I'm saying? You still melanin, black, brown, black, melanin, melanation. We here, you know what I'm saying? We still copper colored folk. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen the darkest of the Mexican, the lightest of the lightest, the red, the light skin, the red bone. I've seen different shades of Mexicans. Just like when you come over here, you see different shades of us. It's the only thing different is Spanish, English. That's the only thing different. Come over here to the melanated community of us, or the hoods, the ghettos, the projects, or whatever. You get different shades of us too. You get the darkest of the dark, the lightest of the light. You get the red, the brown, the tawny, the olive. You get all that too. Same people. All come from the Olmec and other ancient civilizations that was here. See, they only tell people about the Olmecs, but I done found the other ones too, and we're gonna touch on them in later lives and videos. But the Olmec wasn't the only ones that was ancient melanins here. But some people teach that the Olmec migrated from the Nile Valley region of East Africa. Dodge the hijack. America's the real old world. We know that the Nile Valley is over here. So just read with our newly woken minds that some people teach that the Olmec migrated from the Nile Valley region in East America. East America. Memphis, Florida, Tamari, Egypt. Come on, man. So to the Western Hemisphere. If this is true, they were only received by black natives who were already residing here. So now let's go ahead and read it the real way because they dropped the gem. That's what I always told you. No matter how you flip the story, you're gonna get us on top of that thing. So even if we go by what they teach, some people teach that the Olmec migrated from the Nile Valley region in East Africa to the Western Hemisphere. If this is true, they were only received by melanated natives who are already residing here. No matter how you flip it. Some so many melanated Indians who became indoctrinated into European lifestyle joined European orchestrated fraternities and secret societies such as the what? I got this banner. Hold on, can I put my face right here? Will it move? Nope, it won't move. Okay. If y'all can see that on y'all end, put that down there on number 990. I can't see that last bit. What? So number 91 though, the melanated Indian Joseph Brant or Tyon Daga of the Iroquois Nation became a Freemason. That's what it is, Freemason. Yep. Okay, there we go. Got it. Yep, Freemasons. Shout out to the Boule. Shout out to the Boule. you know, and, and shout out all my melanated brothers and sisters who's in college, who went to college, who be pledging Alpha, Sigma, Gamma, and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just as Greek as everything else, but that don't mean melanated. I mean, that don't mean Anglo-Saxon though, because who was the original Greeks and Romans? So in a way, y'all kind of still repping melanin hood, but that all skin folks, your kin folks. So you're actually repping Esau and Edomites shit. You know what I'm saying? Come on back to the Israelite side. You did. But shout out to y'all though. Shout out to all my Q dogs who be out there stomping it up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. If y'all put that much energy into your real nation, your real fraternity, oh man, we would have been had this shit solved by now. And Spartans. Yeah, the Spartans and all that. Freemasons, the original sellouts, most definitely. But you know, hey, there were some melanated Indian nations of the Western Hemisphere region who had known blood ties to various clans in Africa. Gondwana is how you have blood ties to clans in Africa. You know, shout out to Pangea. Let's see, number 93. Many melanated Indians navigated the oceans and did not live in isolated communities as taught by the paleface in their school systems because that's how you populate a earth. You can't populate a earth by living isolated communities. You populate the earth by navigating the oceans and setting up. That's how the Mayans ended up in northeast Africa of what you call Egypt today. Egyptians over there and hieroglyphs already said that their ancient ancestors came from the Western Hemisphere navigating the oceans. So, with that being said, are Northeast Africans really African or are they just American Indians who also forgot who the fuck they was? Just like everybody else when you take on pale skin indoctrinations because they're good at deceiving and wiping your memory because that's what they do. You don't never put your brain in the hand of a person who don't like you, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. But we send our kids there though. Yeah, I've been so much today. Indentured servitude was busy today. Hey, it's cool. Oh, shit, we was busy today too. So now number 94. Ooh, this is a big one. Y'all hang in there. This is a big one right here. During the early 1800s, certain melanated Indians who went under colonized titles of Negro and Colored helped establish settlements on the west coast of Africa for other melanated Indians. Those melanated Indians went under another title. They were also known as Black Elite. Black Elite been around for a long time, y'all. The Boule been around for a long time, dog. In the late 1800s, other settlements were established in Liberia. America colonization. Hold on, America Colonization Society. I think that's what it is. I ain't pulled it up in so long. I hope that's what I'm saying. But anyways, Marcus Garvey tried to send everybody back to Africa. That's what that is. Even though he is part of the elites, Marcus Garvey knew he was an American Indian, bro. He was trying to send everybody over there while his ass go to London. He wasn't going. He was just trying to send our motherfucking asses over there. He was about to take his ass back to London where he had all these mistresses and girlfriends and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Shout out to W.B. Du Bois who stood up against that man. Was like, bro, Marcus Garvey on that fuck shit, bro. I'm American Indian. I'm a Huguenot. I am not going to Africa. If anything, y'all gonna send me to France or Portugal or some shit like that. Shout out to W.B. Du Bois, you know what I'm saying? And Booker T. Washington and Frederick Douglass, who stood up against that man and that crazy shit. This is why he was with Walter Plecker in the Anglo Saxon clubs of America. They wanted to send all black people to Africa because they wanted to make the whole America Anglo. My Mexican brothers and sisters, they was gonna ship your ass to Africa too. They wanted to ship all melanated Indians. You are melanated, black, brown, melanin. They was gonna ship your ass to Africa too, cause they wanted Mexico as well. So that's why they have a Anglo Mexico. Don't believe me? Go look it up. There's an Anglo Mexico, an Anglo America, an Anglo Asia. There's an Anglo European. Anywhere that you got Anglo, just know that it's a Germanic tribe who came out them motherfucking cave them. I ain't gonna say caves no more because I know about the Territarian Empire, man. These folks came out these damn laboratories, lot low and ready, and start conquering shit. This is how you get the Anglo shit everywhere. This is how you got almost 90% of the earth speaking English and shit. These folks came out hot and ready. You talk, these folks was doing drive-bys and everything, man. These folks came out thugging. These real thugs. These gangster. Shit. I'm sorry, y'all. Look, hey, melanin folks go hard too. We thugging with the thug too. These niggas take it to a whole nother level though. They take it there. You dig? And that's how they came. They came out these laboratories locked, low, and ready. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got an Anglo America, Anglo Asia, Anglo Mexico, Anglo, all that stuff. Anglo means genetic mutation. That's all it means. Genetic mutation and took over. That's what it is, man. So they was gonna send y'all to Africa too, yes. They was gonna send y'all to South Africa. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. No games. Not even bullshitting. For real, for real. You did. But that was they plan. Walter Plecker, Marcus Garvey, and everybody else who was involved. Abraham Lincoln. Don't believe me? Come on, man. Come on. Y'all know I'm talking about my ass now. Abraham Lincoln. It began with him. Oh shit. I'm gonna leave that gem right there for y'all to go look up. It started with him. He wanted to send all Indians at, at at his time, at Abraham Lincoln's time. He knew we were the American Indians because he was a Melungeon. Abraham Lincoln was a Melungeon, so he know who the real American Indians were. Us. He's a Melungeon. His family though got killed by Indians, so he had a hatred for Indians. He was gonna send our asses to Africa. He written up a bill. He almost got that bitch passed. Didn't get passed. He got you did. He got you did. 2 plus 2 is 4. He wrote a bill going against everything, and he was trying to send. He was trying to break treaties and send people places they don't belong. He was on some. He was fucking up shit. They caught him in the theater. You did stepped on that boy. Stepped on that boy in the theater. You know what I'm saying? Like for real though. And it went silent for a minute. And then Jim Crow era, Walter Plecker and all them, they picked it back up. Anglo-Saxon Club of America. They picked it back up. And they was using Marcus Garvey to Marcus Garvey was taking funds from the melanated community to build these ships to ship they ass to Africa. That's a fucked up thing, right? Fucked up, right? He was taking people's money to build these ships to ship our ass to Africa. Crazy shit. And he was gonna go to London, and all of America was gonna be Anglo Saxons. Shout out to the Anglosphere. Y'all remember that news article? We in an Anglosphere war right now. You know, founded by John D. Rockefeller. Yup. Got to give it to them. Their plan was brilliant and executed. I mean, hey, they did it. quote worthy. Never put your life, faith, or soul in the hands of those who don't like you. Hey, I'm trying to tell you. hmm So now, where we at with it? So now, catch back up where I was at. So now those who knew they were indigenous to the Western Hemisphere, those that didn't know, and those that thought they came from Africa would be settled in West Africa under the disguise of Negroes and coloreds seeking a better life. A black Indian or melanated Indian by the name of Paul Kofi, a melanated Pakwa, helped many melanated Indians settle on the west coast of Africa. Paul Kofi owned and operated boats. He had his own shipping company, and then and that era became one of the richest melanated Indians in America time. Mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. More to that, I was hoping folks did their research, but they did the experiment. Like they shipped a few American Indians again to Africa at that time. So man, look, man, they've been shipping American Indians to Africa since 1400s, man. So after they emancipated all of us or whatever, like that, they was like, man, we got all these melanated Indians free running wild. We got to do something with them. Like they thriving, they creating Black Wall Street businesses and everything like that. They becoming a problem. They reproducing. They free. They happy. We got to do something with them. Just ship them to Africa. So and a few of those who were indoctrinated that didn't know that they was American Indians, they was on the boat. Those who did know sadly got on the boat. And those who thought they was Africans got on the boat. And they made I think 2 or 3 trips before they realized that plan ain't it. Because on those 3 trips, half of the cargo died, and we talking about steamship days. So with that idea, if in steamship days, a trip from here to Africa, and half the people died, 1400s, 1500s, 1600s, 1700s before steamships. Hmm. Okay, so now y'all take that, Jim, and connect those dots with that. We're gonna go ahead and flip it real quick. So now, here we go. We done made it to the end of the book. Let's go ahead and finish it out real quick. Number 97, the Colonial Rebel Uprising, American Revolutionary War was mainly a war for the following 2 reasons. One, the new colonial rebel government constitutional was a melanated Indian constitutional government foundation that melanated Indian nations being Iroquois nations. Number 2, most of the military support came from melanated Indians indigenous to the Western Hemisphere region. Other military support came from the Moors. And the banner in my way dropped down from Moors. They were from Spain, France, Portugal, and Morocco. The Moroccan Treaty. Y'all look into that. Other Moors support came from renegade Moors from England. Renegade means rebel for those in the back, but came for renegade Moors from England that broke away from England to support the colonial rebels, which is your American Indians. Those are your brothers and sisters. Also, keep in mind when Spain, France, and Portugal gave assistance to the colonial rebels, there existed melanated Indians that also filled up the ranks of these armies. Remember, melanated Indians had been migrating to Europe for quite some time before the American Revolutionary War, since the 1400s. Some of these melanated Indians knew they were returning to, while those were thoroughly colonized did not. So there's a lot of our brothers and sisters over there in Europe and England who don't even know that they roots come from over here. So now, during the Seminole Wars, shout out to all my Gullah Geechee people. During the Seminole Wars, the United States government recruited other black Indians to assist them in the war against the Seminoles. Sadly, you got to take everybody out because the Seminoles or Gullah Geechee still won. Number 99. The melanated Indians who had lost the knowledge of themselves' tribal identity were labeled as Negroes and colors and were also recruited by the U.S. Army ranks to fight in the Seminole Wars. 100. The United States government had to abandon the war with the Seminoles. They could not defeat them. Shout out to the Gullah Geechee. Many Africans that came to the United States in this present day and time know that most so-called African Americans are indeed American Indians, quote unquote, melanated indigenous Indians, or they know that you are not them. And they tell you, this is why I tell folks, bro, when Africans tell you that you are not African, stop thinking with emotion, think with logic, bro. These folks know that you not them. They are not you. They know that the roots is deep. Shout out to Pangea and Gondwana. They know the roots are deep, but at the end of the day, we all have our nations, our tribes, and stuff like that. So we're not part of a tribe. We have our own tribe. Shout out to Sham, you know what I'm saying? We have our own tribe. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Judah. We got our own tribe. Shout out to Levi. Shout out to Benjamin. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying? Salah, Afrashai. We got our own tribe. And they know that. Wanna know how they know that? Shout out to the Ethiopian Bible. That's how they know that. You know what I'm saying? Folks know that, man. Hey. What's said to be explained. The reason why they know that though, because America is the real old world. And you and me are older than them. We are sham. Come on. Wake up. Got to wake up. 102. Most foreigners from other nations abroad are waiting for so-called African Americans to reclaim their rightful titles. Everybody seen that video of that one African dude was like, we waiting on black people to wake up. You guys are gods. Let me tell y'all something. This book was written way the fuck before he made that video. I don't believe in coincidences. Everybody is waiting on us to wake up because everybody know who you are. I'm trying to tell you, it is all about you. America's the real old world. You are the real ancient ones. These wars and shit that's going on, what you think they about? Everybody talking gold, oil, diamonds. Melanin is worth more than all that. What they really going to war about? War is all about gold, oil, diamonds. That's your God. Melanin is God. What they really going to war about? About you. They trying to own you. They still trying to own you even after the time is done and we're waking up and the change is being unlocked and prophecies is being fulfilled and everything like that. They are still trying to own you. This is how greedy they are. This is how greedy, bro. Ukraine and Russia are the same people. Ain't that shit crazy? They are the same people on the same landmass from the same tribe of Japhet. They are greedy. They going to war with Esau and Edomites. Oh shit. Just sit back and let them do their thing. But keep your guards up and be cautious. Protect your energy and keep your head on the swivel. But let genetic mutation destroyed genetic mutation. God work in mysterious ways, don't he? God or the universe says he or she or it works through men, women, plants, animals, energy, even enemy on enemy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just being real. It's always been about you. Out of all the stuff that's going on in the world, it is all the stuff that's going on in the world, the most sensitive topic is CRT. Out of everything that's going on in the world, the most sensitive topic is CRT right now. These folks is passing bills. They banning it. They banning us. You know what I'm saying? They shadow banning you. Man, these folks don't want this stuff to come out. This shit is real. They always said the worst, you should have never gave those niggas money. No, y'all should have never gave these niggas books because nigga, once we get to thriving and we get this neuromelanin going, oh, you start reading shit. Nigga, this sound like they talking about me, nigga. What you talking about? You start reading the descriptions of American Indians in Israel and tribe of Judah and all that. You like, man, hold on. It was tall, slim, melanated, and handsome. Start looking at yourself in the mirror, you be like, nigga, this is me. You know what I'm saying? This is me they talking about right here. Had coarse hair and locks. Hold on, bro. What the fuck? What going on? What the fuck going on? They ain't talking about me right here, man. You go get another book. They talking about me right here. And they ate Indian bread and yams and nigga, this is soul food, man. Grandma fix this shit on Thanksgiving, bro. What you talking about, man? We still do these customs to this day. We just don't know the name no more. It's in your DNA. They can take your memory. They can't take your genes. They can't take your DNA. We still do our culture and tradition still to this day. It's naturally in us. It just ain't got no name no more. They took the name. It ain't got no name no more. But we don't need the name. We operate off energy though. That's the best thing about it. We operate off energy. We don't need no name. We know what's up. We know that soul food is really American Indian food. You feel me? We know that we created basketball and the inventors and we know this stuff. We know that we are inventors. We know we shaman. We know we healers. We know we star seeds. We know we spiritual trash. We know that everybody is waiting on the so-called African Americans to reclaim their nationality and everything like that. But you ain't gonna get that by turning the other cheek though. You do realize that. You know what I'm saying? The last time we had an uprising, it's been a long time. And I ain't trying to stir up nothing. I'm just letting y'all know how history repeat itself. And we haven't had an uprising in a long time. And we kind of overdue for one if history always repeat itself. So I'm saying that to tell you to prepare yourself, be cautious, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to 333. We all in here. Just go ahead and get it up in there. You know, be cautious, prepare yourself. Train. Don't just be out here on no sheep zombie stuff no more, man. Like shit really getting critical at these times. Like if you don't think and believe things getting critical no more at this time in 2022, then go ahead and remain asleep. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you'll get it next lifetime of your reincarnation. But for those of us who's tired of this shit and we trying to fulfill this soul contract and be done, prepare yourself, man, for real. Everything coming full circle again. So, you know, let's go ahead and finish it up. So one more time for the people in the back. Most foreigners from other nations abroad are waiting for the so-called African Americans to reclaim their rightful titles. That is because we are their allies. nations, countries, armies, militaries, wars, all the people have allies, the allies, nationalities, the tribes. The people that's waiting on us to wake up, those are our Israelites, nigga. Other Israelites, nigga, they trying to wake you up. You know what I'm saying? They trying to wake you up, bro. We waiting on, but you have to do it yourself. We can tell you who you are, but you have to internally believe that shit, man. There's so much power in belief when you believe in the right stuff. That is. So, but they waiting on us to wake up because those are our allies. The government, the media wants you to believe that the world hates you. Don't nobody like you, black man, black woman, but that is a lie. That is one of the biggest lies ever to keep you away from people. Plenty people overseas love us. They fighting for us. They need us to wake up. We the allies. We the gods, goddesses, kings, queens. We are the original rulers. When Earth resets, you need the original here. So you need the original back. Original kings, original queens, original shaman, original high priest, priestess, the originals. You need us back when Earth reset. We gotta get back with it. But let me dig a little bit deeper with this last idea, or not idea, but this last fact that I'm gonna go ahead and tell you at number 103. The reclaiming of the identity of the melanated indigenous Indian in the Western Hemisphere region is not a difficult task. It does not require petitioning outside of yourself to someone else to acknowledging who you are. Your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather, the information that has been passed down through your lineage to you from them is acknowledgement. Neither does it require the testing of your own DNA. Neither does it require the testing of your own DNA by way of the colonizer's pseudo contraptions. Pseudo contraptions. The earth and the astral ancestral spirits know perfectly who you are. Just claim it. Just claim it. Just claim who you are. What have I always been telling y'all? You know, for those of us who want to go to the court and play by their rules of this matrix to claim your nationality that they not gonna respect anyway. That's the whole reason of them taking it from you in the first place and keeping it from you. They not gonna respect that shit anyways. Claim that shit, bro. I don't need no court system to tell you where you. Man, these people be all on TikTok and man, people you send me DM or go get the DNA test if you really, bro. I ain't gotta prove shit to you. I don't even know you, nigga. The fuck, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta prove shit to you, like nigga. I don't even know you. People be on this app wilding, talking about erasure. Go take the DNA test if you really wanted to prove it to us. I ain't gotta prove a damn thing to you, bro. What's that famous saying in our community, melanated folks? All I gotta do is stay black and die, nigga. I ain't gotta prove shit to you at all. What you talking about? It is what it is. I could tell you what's up. You know, you gotta prove nothing to these people, man. Let these people talk. Let these people talk. You speaking facts that they know. That's why it's aggravating their soul. That's why they getting uncomfortable because it's the truth. They know it's the truth. Keep speaking them facts. The facts is in this book. The facts is within me, Dane Calloway, Kui Mayo, These Truths, Soul Bacon, and everybody else that's bringing you this information, man. These are facts. We have not met each other a day in our lives, and it is no coincidence that we all on this app teaching and showing the same people the same information just in different forms and different regions and different books and different, but it's all the same shit. What comes down to it is America is the real old world. You are the ancient beings that's still walking around because of your lineage. You still ancient. You still here. You ain't dead. You ain't extinct. You ain't go nowhere. Ain't no smallpox. Christopher Columbus and Napoleon didn't do all this old killing shit like that. They got their ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? Like The proof in the pudding, your grandmama told you who you was, and we talking about 1600, 15, 1400 information, and we in 2022, and your grandmama still telling you, oh yeah, baby, we American Indians, we come from Cherokee, we come from Chickasaw, we come from the Blackfoot, we come from Yamasees, Iroquois, you know what I'm saying? Mayans, Inca, Aztecs, Tiano, Caribs, Lucayans, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, baby, we come from all these different tribes, you know what I'm saying? Oh, grandma, so was any one of us slaves? Nah, baby, we ain't got no slave stories for you. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what y'all talking about. We own land, and they reclassified us and took our land. Like that happened, but I don't know what you got. Indentured servitude, yeah, but we don't know. We ain't got no slave stories, baby. So what about Africa? We can't tell you about Africa because we ain't never been to Africa. We American Indians. This is what your grandmama would tell you. My grandmama been telling me that my whole life. Other people in the South, grandmama been telling them that the whole life. You know what I'm saying? See, society want to make it a joke when we say that we got Indian in our blood. They want to make it into a satire joke. It's a satire joke. It's true, but they turn it into a joke to make people not believe. Something like Family Guy and shit like that. That's what that is. When in fact that you don't have Indian in your family, you are the Indian in your family. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. And that's your nationality. So from this day forward, man, nobody from this day forward, bro, nobody on this line better ever refer to themselves as black, African American, melanated. You can refer to yourself as melanated to unite, you know what I'm saying, with our Mexican brother, our black and brown brothers and sisters, melanation, you feel me, melanin. But you better not call yourself black after this day, no African American. When them census records come back out, check other, put your nationality on that thing, and keep it moving. That's what I did. People always be asking me, well, what the fuck did you put on your census? I checked other, put Gullah Geechee slash Tiano slash Blackfoot slash Sephardic Jew and more. And I sent that bitch in. Ain't nobody knock on my door yet. Ain't nobody knock on my door yet. And if they knock on my door, I'm going to tell them the same thing. And I'm going to show them these pictures. And I'm going to tell them, get the fuck from in front of my door. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. And I'm going to shut the door. These people can't tell you who you not. You know what I'm saying? These people can't tell you who you not. These folks crazy, bro. These folks know more about your these folks know more about your family than your grandmama who actually birthed your family. That shit crazy, ain't it? That shit crazy. That's narcissistic behavior right there. If a lot of people didn't know, that's narcissistic behavior, dog. These people try to tell you about you. That's why I be laughing at them. You're not American Indian. Oh my bad. I didn't even know that you was my granddaddy, big dog. For real? How long you and my grandmama been married? Oh, you just being an asshole. You just dodging knowledge. Nah, bro. You saying I ain't an American Indian? Tell me who am I? Who am I then, granddaddy? You know who I am. You and my grandmama been married for so long. Tell me. What's my grandmama name? What's her birthday? Where's she from? Oh, you can't tell me those things? If you can't tell me the basics, then how the fuck can you tell me my bloodline that stretch all the way the fuck back? But get the fuck out of my line. I ain't gotta prove shit to you. Until you can debunk my grandmama, nigga, I ain't got shit to prove to you. Fuck, the books and shit cool. The books just link everything that your grandmama and shit been telling you. These shits is cool. This is more proof. Your grandmama's the first source. I don't care what nobody. Your grandmama the first source. I already believe that. So when I read these books, that's just backing up and filling in spaces and gaps that she done already told me about the family. That's how I know this shit real. That's how I know this shit real. Come on, man. These folks is making them mad. We waking up, but that's what it's supposed to do. That's what it's supposed to do. The people who get mad of you waking up to who you are, you know what side of the fence that they on. Oh, that intertribal beef still going on. That intertribal beef still going on. Now you know what Indians they are when they scream erasure. You know what Indians they are. They the ones that don't like you. They ancestors had a long history of beefing with your ancestors. So yeah, they side with the Anglo-Saxons to hide your information, to hide your history, and that's why they fight so hard to be like, you guys are for Africa. Arr. They be doing all that old crazy shit. If you speak in truth, bro, you ain't gotta do all that. If you speak in truth, you ain't gotta call people names. You ain't gotta call on Weibo. You ain't gotta start disrespecting their family tree. You ain't got. If you speaking facts, bro, you can just post the facts up behind you like I do every live every day at 7:20 p.m. faithfully Eastern time, and you can just start pointing out shit and filling up gaps because I haven't seen nobody on TikTok live do that yet. I have not seen nobody fill in no gaps or no African knowledge yet. It's that same old Kemet. Oh, Kemet. Al-Kibulan, bruh. Al-Kibulan is Arabic, and that everybody on that continent speak Arabic. An African, pure African would tell you that every tribe call that landmass something different. There's no official title for that landmass. Just like there's no official title for this landmass. It's either Turtle Island or Amaru Khan, Tamari, or depending on which tribe you asking what the name of this landmass is, that's what they gonna refer to it as. Same thing over there. There's no specific name for these land masses except for Pangea, and that's even questionable because we know, come on, man, we know spirit and energy don't speak language. You know what I'm saying? Dodge the hijack all the time and always. I had to get that rant out. Y'all know what I'm saying? So that was my last and final rant right there. Your grandmama is the first source. The books just confirm everything and everything solidified. You ain't gotta prove shit to nobody for that DNA test. That shit is counterfeit, it's pseudo. You know that this is the matrix. People can manipulate shit. If these niggas got a blue beam project, I know these niggas can manipulate DNA tests. So I ain't even fucking with y'all on that computer shit. You know, miss me with that. Let me catch up in the comments real quick. Mm-hmm. Thank you for all the gifts and likes. Shout out to everybody who's still here. You don't need land to grow your veggies and fruits. You could do it on your balcony and start sharing. Most definitely, you can start doing that. You can do garden, closet gardens, and here. You don't need land to grow your veggies and fruits. You could do it on your balcony and start sharing. Most definitely, you can start doing that. You can do garden, closet gardens, and all that. Excuse me. They got grow tents for people who want to do closet gardens. Y'all check that out. So I put native on my daughter birth. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I put native on my daughter birth certificate. Hey, it's good for real. Gaslighting her. So I just thought of Mr. Brown. Shirley Wisdom makes a wise man mad, man. I'm telling you. My grandma was an Indian in Mississippi. She was never allowed to talk about her Indian side, and that's how it was for a lot of us though. A lot of our ancestors couldn't. They couldn't talk about that because there was a point in time after they really did paper genocide our nationality, we would get lynched for even saying that we was American Indians at one point in time. Like we really would get killed for saying that we were American Indians. They would lynch us for that. And that forced a lot of our ancestors just to, out of fear, say we black, we African American, we Negroes and shit. And they just did that out of fear. And once you repetition is the father of learning, and repetition can also be the father of programming as well. So innately they was programming themselves into, eventually when you start passing that fear down out of ages and ages and ages, then it becomes your identity. You know what I'm saying? So now your family didn't say that they black and African American for so many generations, to the point where you spoke your nationality out of your head. Now you're like, damn, hold on, the fuck, something don't sit right, and it is what it is. So that's why they did it. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it on up though. Let's go ahead and bring it on. So so with that being said, I hope everybody enjoyed the live. I hope everybody got some out of it, some kind of gem, some way. Hope enlighten, expand. And I appreciate all the likes, all the gifts. Shout out to all the angel numbers that we caught. We was in synchronization. And this is the first live of this week. Got many more lives this week, many more topics and knowledge and everything like that. So tomorrow we're gonna touch on spirituality. I'm gonna do a little news update. You know, I haven't brought the little news update to y'all in a long time. So we're gonna go ahead and drop a little news. You know, we're gonna dodge the hijack, but you know, a good lie got the truth in it too. So we're gonna also Da Vinci Code a lot of this stuff. So, you know, y'all in for a nice little live, these coming lives, you feel me? So with that being said, y'all know how we end it. I want everybody to get a nice sound sleep. If you have a hard time sleeping, go and put your rain sounds on or your meditation frequency vibes and tune out. So now, let's end it on a positive note. Peace, prosperity, abundance, gratefulness, gratitude, appreciativeness, practice serenity, control what you can control, let go of what you can't control, and have the wisdom to know the difference. To control, or, I mean, to oh boy, it's happening again. Hold on. Serenity. Control what you can control, let go of what you can't control, and have the wisdom to know the difference so you can balance or erase any negative or good karmas that you may have accumulated in your past lives, current lives, or your future lives. But stay in the present because present is the gift. That's why it's called the present. And I'm going to holler at y'all and I'm going to see y'all. Y'all go check out those new videos I just dropped. These truths. I'm about to go hit your page and check out your videos. Shout out to Power Gen and everybody out. Shout out to my Blackfoots, my Seminoles, my Choctaw, my Iroquois, my Cherokee. You know what I'm saying? Israelite, Shem, everybody, Judah, Star Seeds. We out. I'm going to holler at y'all next time.